Survival for all. I start by building a mecha and piloting a Gundam. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 426, The advantage of taking the leaders to defeat all bosses. It took a day. Purified more than 20 million wild monsters. Destroyed more than 3,000 local forces of all sizes. Purified millions of local intelligent creatures. And captured more than 1 million local intelligent creatures. Under the faith magic of the Angel of the Heart, the more than 1 million native intelligent creatures have all been shrouded in your glory. In other words, the population of the Black Technology Heaven has now reached more than 6 million, and they are all Tang Xiaofan's believers. They provide Tang Xiaofan with a lot of faith power every moment. These faith powers are collected by the faith altar and the holy light temple. When Tang Xiaofan becomes the god of faith in the future, he can directly use them and condense them into his own divine power. Compared with the gods of faith in ancient times, Tang Xiaofan's millions of believers are not many at all. It can even be said that they are pitifully few. However, his believers have a high level of faith. The lowest are devout believers, and there are a large number of fanatical believers among them. And the warriors and angels under Tang Xiaofan are all believers at the level of the Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit, the highest level of faith. It was very difficult for the gods of faith in ancient times to cultivate a Holy Spirit believer, but Tang Xiaofan had more than 5 million Holy Spirit believers, and the number could grow at will, which was terrifying. If those ancient gods of faith knew, they would also be envious of Tang Xiaofan. The higher the level of the believers, the more power of faith they could give to Tang Xiaofan. So Tang Xiaofan's number of believers seemed to be only a few million, but the power of faith they provided to Tang Xiaofan was indeed very huge, comparable to tens of millions of gods and believers. Tang Xiaofan said, "Does that mean the forest has been cleared?" "Yes, my lord." The 10-winged archangel, Halen Weenie, nodded respectfully. Tang Xiaofan thought for a while and said, "Pass the order down. Suspend hunting tonight. Pray when you need to pray. Rest when you need to rest. And attack the Karami Prairie and Balili Highlands tomorrow." "Yes, my lord almighty." Halen Weenie withdrew respectfully. Now that the 14-winged seraph Tigger is gone, she temporarily commands the kingdom's angel army. As for Tigger, at noon, she received Tang Xiaofan's order and took the guide, Zan Yi, Zan and other kingdom demigods, as well as a large number of warriors, to destroy the Warcraft family. The Warcraft family is still very strong. From the memory of the Fox Girl Princess, in which Warcraft family, there is a demigod level Warcraft patriarch, hundreds of level 21 Warcraft, and tens of thousands of level 20 Warcraft. With such a strong strength, no castle lord can capture it, even the Alliance. Only Tang Xiaofan has such power. It can even be said that for his Black Technology Kingdom, the Warcraft family is not strong at all. It only takes a few demigods to destroy it easily. The reason why Tigger brought a large number of steel warriors over was obviously to let them get experience. See if you can pile up more demigod level warriors by killing a demigod Warcraft and hundreds of level 21 Warcraft. It shouldn't be a problem. Many Iron Warriors have stepped into the limit of the peak of level 21. They only need to take half a step to be promoted to demigod. If nothing unexpected happens, after conquering the Warcraft family, the number of demigods in my Black Technology Heaven will exceed 10. Tang Xiaofan said to himself secretly, "This is the benefit of walking in front of hundreds of castle lords. The big bosses in the local world belong to him. Whenever he encounters them, he will be pushed down, leaving no chance for other castle lords. It is not a good habit to eat alone, and it is easy to be beaten by a group, but Tang Xiaofan is not afraid. It's not like he has never been attacked by a group. It can even be said that among the entire castle forces, only his forces have been attacked by a large-scale group once. One time was the Anti-Demon Alliance of the Forest, and the other time was a million-strong army composed of several alliances. What was the result? The enemy forces that gathered twice were all wiped out by him. Now that he has established the dynasty power Black Technology Heaven, he is even less afraid of being besieged by the top castle lords who are jealous of him. facing his god-level wall that is more than 2,000 meters high. Even if another 1 billion troops come, they can't break through his capital. Zhang Yi and other upper-level warriors have not returned yet, but Tang Xiaofan is not worried about their safety. Even if they encounter an irresistible danger, he can quickly learn about it through Jarvis and then send Stark to help. With Stark's strength as a middle-level god, he can appear beside Zhang Yi and his friends with a teleport. Stark is equivalent to a trump card in Tang Xiaofan's hand, which will not be played easily. But once played, the lower-level true gods will die. Even with the help of Stark's high-level suppression, plus his main artifact with a part of his power sealed, he can now compete with even the middle-level gods at the peak level. It can be seen how terrifying Stark's divine power is. Tang Xiaofan had nothing to do, so he counted the other spoils with his Stark. As usual, the things that were needed were used or stored, and the items that were not needed were all put on the trading channel in exchange for supplies and soul stones. Things that were already useless in Tang Xiaofan's eyes were indeed quite useful to the castle lords in the castle forces. For example, various magic skill drawings, some medium and high level building drawings belonging to the dark, evil, and undead camps, high level equipment in a damaged state, etc. These things can greatly enhance the strength of their castles. In comparison, they are useless to Tang Xiaofan. It didn't take long for all the spoils to be counted. Tang Xiaofan waved his right hand, and a large number of blue drawings suddenly appeared in front of him. The common point is that they are all initial arms quantity drawings. A small part of them are the harvest of the Kingdom Legion's clearing of the forest today, and most of the arms quantity drawings are from several wars yesterday. The total number added up, it seems to have reached more than 400. This is very terrifying, because even if each arms quantity drawing only gives Tang Xiaofan 10 angels, he can get more than 4,000 angels at one time. What's more, there are more than 10 angels, because even low-level arms quantity drawings can randomly get at least 10 angels. Among the more than 400 blueprints of the number of arms, there are more than 100 intermediate blueprints and dozens of advanced blueprints. The advanced blueprints can obtain at least 50 angel holy spirits, and at most 100 angel holy spirits. Yesterday's million-strong alliance army, plus the more than 20 million wild monsters, and 1 million native intelligent creatures cleared today, only harvested more than 400 blueprints of the number of arms in total. This explosion rate is really low. Tang Xiaofan sighed secretly. You know, the blueprints of the evolution of the arms that have exploded in the past 2 days have added up to more than 10,000, but there are only more than 400 blueprints of the number of arms. In comparison, the explosion rate is really a bit low. After all, it's free, and it's good to have more than 400. Chapter 427 Obtaining the Upper True God Level 14 Winged Destiny Angel. Tang Xiaofan comforted himself, and his mood instantly became better, because he estimated that, after using all the more than 400 arms quantity drawings, the number of angels under his command would likely exceed 10,000. This was the main reason for his good mood. I have to thank the alliances headed by the Alliance of Gods. If it weren't for their millions of troops besieging the city, how could I have gotten so many arms quantity drawings? Tang Xiaofan laughed, and then he chose to use all the arms quantity drawings in front of him. In an instant, all the drawings collapsed, and in the air in front of him, a piece of golden cloud was formed. More than 400 large and small golden clouds gathered together, and the scene was simply incomparable. My lord, this is... Stark asked doubtfully. Tang Xiaofan said, the arms quantity drawings I used just now can directly breed angel holy spirits. If nothing unexpected happens, the angels of our kingdom will soon exceed 10,000. Stark was stunned, looking at the golden clouds in the sky in front of him, showing surprise. It can actually breed angels and holy spirits directly. What kind of power is this? Tang Xiaofan didn't know how to answer. Could it be that this was the power from the game officials? At this moment, dense balls of light flew out of the golden clouds in the sky. Each ball of light was dazzling, just like the stars in the sky, extremely dazzling. Tang Xiaofan was mainly concerned about the dozens of golden clouds with the largest area. They were all transformed from the drawings of the number of advanced arms, and each of them could breed a large number of angels and holy spirits. The lowest was 50, and the highest was 100. I don't know how long it took. Finally, hundreds of golden clouds all dispersed. And above the sky, there were already countless balls of light. There were too many to count with the naked eye. Tang Xiaofan could only use his spiritual consciousness to scan a total of 10,260 angels and holy spirits. Tang Xiaofan took a breath of cold air, and the whole person fell into a daze. Even he was completely shocked. It was not until a long time later that he came back to his senses. 300 low-level drawings gave birth to more than 4,000 angels. More than 100 intermediate drawings gave birth to about 3,000 angels. In addition, the more than 40 high-level drawings gave birth to a total of 2,750 angels, which directly exceeded 10,000. Adding the more than 3,000 angels in my kingdom, the number of angels under my command has reached nearly 14,000, which can be divided into 14 angel legions. This wave is really a big profit. Tang Xiaofan's heart was surging and extremely excited. You know, he has been in the spirit god and demon continent for such a long time, and the total number of angels and holy spirits he has bred through soul summoning is only about 3,000. And now, with the help of yesterday's war and today's clearing of the forest, he has directly obtained tens of thousands of angels for free with hundreds of arms drawings, which can be called the strongest version of free. If it is spread out, it will definitely shock the entire castle force. Hundreds of castle lords and wanderers will all be dumbfounded and unbelievable. As for the top castle lords who have died in the alliance, I'm afraid they will regret it even more. Because it was them who made Tang Xiaofan's power grow so fast. It was them who made Tang Xiaofan's black technology kingdom even stronger. Yesterday, when counting the war harvest, Tang Xiaofan secretly thanked the top castle masters more than once. Now, he was even more moved from the bottom of his heart. Without the help of their millions of troops, how could he get so many angels for free? Soon after, all the light balls in the sky collapsed, and one by one, the white and tender little angels appeared in Tang Xiaofan's sight. Each one was so beautiful and cute. Tens of thousands of little angels flapped their snow white wings and flew in the sky. The scene was simply shocking to the extreme. Even Tang Xiaofan saw such a grand occasion for the first time. He couldn't help but tremble in his heart and couldn't calm down. There were really too many little angels. So many that Tang Xiaofan felt a little dazzled and couldn't see it all. Tang Xiaofan tried to calm down and use his spiritual consciousness to scan the number of wings behind the tens of thousands of little angels. Soon, the smile on his face became very bright. There are 10,260 angels, among which there are about 7,000 multi-winged angels, and only 3,000 little angels are double-winged angels. It is worthy of a 70% probability. Among these 7,000 multi-winged angels, there are 5,000 four-winged angels, more than 1,000 six-winged angels, more than 500 eight-winged angels, and about 110 winged angels. The most important thing is that Tang Xiaofan took a deep breath. There are actually 3 12-winged angels, and 1 14-winged angel. This is absolutely terrifying. You must know that the growth potential limit of the 12-winged angel is as high as the peak of the middle god. And the growth potential of the 14-winged angel has entered the terrifying upper god level. After such a long period of development and the use of a large number of arms evolution drawings, Tang Xiaofan has less than 10 12-winged angels under his command, and there is only one 14-winged angel, Tigger. But now he got 3 12-winged angels for free, plus a 14-winged angel, and about 110 winged angels, more than 500 8-winged angels, which can be called a big explosion of luck. However, Tang Xiaofan also knew that this was directly related to the upgrade of his farmer factory to level 9, with a 70% probability of breeding special farmers. If the level of the farmer factory was not high enough and reached the top level, it would be impossible to have so many upper angels, not to mention that there were 12 winged angels and 14 winged angels among them. Praise you, Almighty Lord, led by the 14-winged little angel. Tens of thousands of white and tender little angels gathered and saluted Tang Xiaofan very solemnly. Their voices were crisp and uniform, making Tang Xiaofan smile even brighter. Then he checked the information of the 3 12-winged little angels first, and found that the 3 little angels were of different types. One was a 12-winged main angel, one was a 12-winged cherubim, and the other was a 12-winged seat angel. The common point was that their initial level had reached the peak of level 21, and they were only one step away from being promoted to demigods. Moreover, their growth potential limit has also reached the peak level of the middle level true god. In other words, even if they do not evolve, they can be promoted to the peak level of the middle level true god in the future, which is terrifying. As for the information about the 14-winged little angel, it made Tang Xiaofan feel a big surprise, because he was a special angel, and an angel similar to the creation farmer and the destiny farmer mentioned by Stark before, but it turned out to be an extremely rare destiny angel. Destiny angel, 14-winged angel, current growth status, Holy Spirit, initial level, demigod peak, loyalty 100, die hard, complete form, upper true god level 14-winged destiny angel, chapter 428. The power of the angel of destiny. Angel of destiny? And it's a 14-winged one. Looking at the newly bred angel of destiny, even Stark showed a look of astonishment. Angels of destiny are special angels, and among special angels, their number is also very rare. Not to mention that this is a 14-winged angel of destiny, whose growth potential limit has reached the level of the upper true god. Angels of destiny at this level are even rarer. What Stark didn't expect was that the two special farmers he mentioned to Tang Xiaofan yesterday, today, an angel of destiny responded to Tang Xiaofan's call and came to this world. It was too unexpected. Tang Xiaofan was also very surprised about this. But there were more surprises. The angel of destiny has been bred, so how far will the angel of creation be? As long as he has both the angel of destiny and the angel of creation, he can build the angel reincarnation pool, a branch of the angel clan, by himself, and he no longer needs to think about its drawings. Tang Xiaofan is very yearning for the farmer god world mentioned by Stark. Because in that illusory world, the farmer god realm has tens of thousands of farmer factories, and the powerful farmer god clan swept across thousands of planes. However, Tang Xiaofan's black technology heaven now only has one farmer factory. It is completely incomparable with the farmer god realm. Even if there are no fate farmers and creation farmers, there are angel clan. So he is looking forward to the arrival of the creation angel. In the future, my black technology heaven will also have tens of thousands of angel reincarnation pools. The number of angels bred every day is an astronomical figure. There is no need to collect the souls of fanatics and use soul stones to give birth to angels. At that time, my angel army will surely be able to sweep across thousands of planes. What is a mere god and demon continent in the world? Of course, this is Tang Xiaofan's best expectation for the future. At this stage, he still has to honestly develop his kingdom's power. Compared with the local empire in the central area, its black technology heaven is still quite weak. Tang Xiaofan's eyes fell on the angel of destiny in front of him. Her initial level was as high as the peak of demigod. She was only one step away from condensing the godhood and being promoted to a god. It can be said that she is now the most powerful angel in the black technology heaven besides Stark. Even Zhenyi, who has the highest rank, is one level lower than her. She was so powerful just after she was conceived, which was enough to shock Tang Xiaofan. It was precisely because her initial level reached the peak of demigod that she was currently in the state of Holy Spirit. Her height also reached about 1.7 meters, and she looked no different from an adult angel. She held a platinum scepter and wore a snow-white long dress. Her pupils were golden. Her skin was fair, her figure was proud, and her cheeks were breathtakingly beautiful. The aura she exuded was very different from that of other angels. Her aura seemed even more ethereal and illusory. The 3 pairs of snow-white angel wings and 4 pairs of energy light wings behind her all exuded a very beautiful streamer and contained a rich mysterious color. Although she stood in front of Tang Xiaofan, she seemed to be just an illusory figure. The trajectory of her own destiny is unpredictable. This is the angel of destiny, the one who holds the power of destiny. After pondering for a moment, Tang Xiaofan named the angel of destiny Claire. Then he named the 3 12-winged angels Philly, Daisy, and Ada respectively. As for the other 10 winged angels and 8 winged angels, because there are too many of them, he can't help. The matter of names can only be left to them to solve. Praise you, Almighty Lord. The angel of destiny Claire and other upper angels saluted respectfully. Tang Xiaofan nodded slightly. Then, he counted the other upper angels again, and finally found more than a dozen special angels. Among them, the largest number is a guardian angel, a total of 7, and there are also 2 angels of love, 3 angels of peace, and 1 angel of paradise, a total of 13. Most of these 13 special angels are 8-winged, and only 2 are 10-winged. Sure enough, it is really a big explosion of luck. Special angels that were rarely seen in the past, this time unexpectedly gave birth to 14. Of course, in addition to luck, the most important thing is that the number of angels bred is large enough, and the level of the farmer factory is high enough. All these factors add up to be able to breed so many special angels at one time, as well as thousands of multi-winged angels. The only pity is that no zodiac god angels appear. So far, I have only bred 1 zodiac farmer, that is, Estella, the god-favored person of Aries. If I can breed an angel of the zodiac this time, if I can try to form a farmer angel combination of the zodiac. Unfortunately, there are no other god angels, and Tang Xiaofan is a little regretful about this. After all, the strength of the zodiac god farmer is extremely strong, and the same level is better than the orthodox factions farmers. Unfortunately, the probability of breeding is too low. Hundreds of drawings of the number of arms have bred more than 10,000 angels, proving that there is not even a god angel of the zodiac. It can be seen that the probability is already ridiculously low. But Tang Xiaofan didn't think much about it. In his opinion, as long as he kept nurturing angels and recruiting farmers, one day all the zodiac angels or farmers would come. And by the same token, if he kept summoning angels and farmers, the creation angels or farmers would also appear in front of him. He only needed to develop the black technology kingdom step by step, and what was supposed to come would definitely come. Tang Xiaofan then let the newborn angels retreat, leaving only the angel of destiny Claire. Tang Xiaofan asked, "Claire, what is your main job?" Claire, the angel of destiny, said respectfully, "My lord, my main job is to control the power of destiny you have given me, and modify the trajectory of the destiny of all things in the world." Tang Xiaofan asked in confusion, "How to modify the trajectory of destiny?" Claire, the angel of destiny, said, "The Lord said that everything in the world has its own destiny, and their destiny is governed by the laws of the current world. My ability is to modify the trajectory of the destiny of everything without touching the laws of the world." As she spoke, Claire, the angel of destiny, waved the scepter in her hand, and suddenly, a bird fell from the sky. Tang Xiaofan saw that the bird was dead and was killed by a holy light from Claire. But at this moment, Claire waved her scepter again, and the bird that was falling miraculously resurrected, screaming in fear and flying to the distant sky. The angel of destiny, Claire, said, "I killed it, and its fate has ended, but I gave it a new fate, so it was resurrected. This is the control of the power of destiny. If I'm strong enough and become a true god, I can also cut the thread of destiny of the gods and make them disappear from the world. For the fate of all things, I can also reverse the straight line of its destiny, make something that is destined to happen not happen." Chapter 429, looking forward to the arrival of the angel of creation. Tang Xiaofan was extremely surprised. Such an ability was simply abnormal. He didn't understand what fate was, but he could see that the ability of the angel of fate Claire was very terrifying. At this time, Claire continued, "But if I modify the fate trajectory of everything, and all spirits, I will also be backlashed by the laws of the world. The greater the impact of the fate trajectory I modify, the heavier the backlash will be. Just like me now, I can't modify the fate trajectory of the true god. If I forcibly cut off the fate thread of a true god and wipe it out now, I will also be annihilated by the backlash of the laws of the world. At this stage, I can still withstand the backlash below the level of the true god." Tang Xiaofan nodded. It is normal for such a terrifying ability to backlash, otherwise Claire will really become a bug, stronger than Stark. Tang Xiaofan looked at the beautiful angel of fate Claire, and said with a smile, "Work hard and strive to condense the godhood as soon as possible, and be promoted to a true god. By then, your strength will be even stronger." "Yes, my lord." The angel of fate Claire saluted respectfully. Seeing Tang Xiaofan waved his hand, Claire also retreated respectfully. Together with the newly bred little angels, they gathered near the farmer's factory and prayed. Although the farmer's factory was not an angel reincarnation pool, it did not prevent them from reciting the Lord's 7 days of creation and praying to the Lord. Stark said, "Now that the Lord has bred the angel of destiny Claire, we only need to wait for the angel of creation to appear, and the Lord's kingdom will be able to build an angel reincarnation pool. After having a large number of angel reincarnation pools, the Lord's glory can quickly cover the entire god and demon continent. The angel army under the Lord will also clear the faith god system and the truth god system, sweeping across this plain world." Yes. Tang Xiaofan nodded, and he was also eagerly looking forward to the appearance of the angel of creation. The angel of destiny and the angel of destiny can work together to build an angel reincarnation pool. Tang Xiaofan also consulted the game officials about this matter and got a positive answer. The game officials replied that not all arms buildings need blueprints to be built. As long as the race of the arms has the ability to build arms buildings, they can achieve construction without blueprints. For example, the angel reincarnation pool of the Angel clan and the cemetery arms building of the Undead clan. Compared with the farmer factory, the undead creatures are actually easier to build cemetery arms buildings. Another example is the elf mother tree of the elf clan. The elves can also cultivate the elf mother tree that can breed the elf farms. So in fact, many races can produce their own arms buildings, but no one can do it now. Of course, there is another premise, that is, the self-built arms buildings need to be approved by the game officials, otherwise there is no way to upgrade and increase the number of recruited arms. As for how to approve it, Tang Xiaofan didn't know and didn't ask much. After all, he hasn't created an angel yet. After the creation of the angel is bred, he will consider building arms buildings. At this time, a petite figure appeared in the distance. At this time, a petite figure appeared in the teleportation array in the distance. As soon as she walked out of the teleportation array, the little guy ran towards Tang Xiaofan, shouting happily, "Big brother." Such a cute and delicate little guy, except for the little lolly in the underground world, there was no one else. Seeing the little lolly, Tang Xiaofan was in a better mood and asked with a smile, "Where did you go during the day? Why didn't I see you come to my capital?" The little lolly hugged Tang Xiaofan's hand and acted coquettishly, and then said, "Kenna didn't come during the day because a very beautiful sister came to Kenna's castle." While speaking, she looked around with big eyes and then exclaimed, "Big brother, how come your castle has become so big?" Tang Xiaofan said, "I upgraded to a high level capital last night, so the territory has become larger. Big brother is really amazing." The little lolly raised her head and looked at Tang Xiaofan. Her big watery eyes were full of little stars of admiration. Tang Xiaofan was in a better mood and said with a smile, "There are still many supplies in my warehouse. Do you want to take some and upgrade your castle?" "Big brother, no need." The little lolly shook her head and said, "Kenna's castle has been upgraded to a high-level town, and the area is large enough." And Master Moore said that Kenna's castle can't be upgraded for the time being, because once it is upgraded to a primary main city, it will be the focus of the Chaos City. "Big brother, do you know the Chaos City?" "Yes." Tang Xiaofan said, "The Chaos City is a fairly powerful force in your area. There are many demigods and a large number of level 21 strongmen living in it." After saying that, Tang Xiaofan thought for a moment and then continued, "Then don't upgrade your castle for the time being. Wait until I conquer the Chaos City." "Okay." The little lolly nodded her head. She didn't care about upgrading the castle at all. Anyway, she was Big Brother Tang Xiaofan's little follower. As long as Big Brother was powerful enough, she would be satisfied. If she encountered danger in the underground world, she could also teleport to Big Brother Tang Xiaofan's castle immediately. In this case, what does it matter whether she upgrades the primary main city or not? She doesn't want to dominate the world. At this time, the little girl saw Stark standing next to her and said politely, "Hello, handsome uncle, I'm Kenna. I'm glad to meet you." Stark said calmly, "Hello." The little girl was very enthusiastic. her eyes shining, looking at Stark and his iron armor, and said, "Uncle, your armor is so beautiful. Any armor Kara has seen is more beautiful and more handsome than yours. There is no way. The genuine Iron Man is here." And he naturally made a lot of parameter adjustments to the armor he built for himself. Or in other words, the latest experimental model of armor was tested by Stark. And Jarvis's cooperation with him, plus Dr. Ethan's cooperation, made Stark, who had only arrived for one day, already find the feeling in the Marvel world. Stark adjusted his equipment, and then his mouth corners slightly raised, and he was very satisfied, and said, "You are also very beautiful." "Thank you, handsome uncle." The little girl was very happy, and her big eyes narrowed into a beautiful crescent shape. Tang Xiaofan rubbed her little head and asked, "You just said that a very beautiful sister came to your castle. Is she the Dark Elf Carrera?" The Dark Elf Carrera lives in the Blood Moon State, a city built by the native Dark Elves. Tang Xiaofan met her when he went to the Dark Iron Dwarf Castle. It was also the necromancer Theodore she brought with her who made a deal with him and gave him a large number of soul stones. Chapter 430 The Goddess of Luck gave me a divine power. Tang Xiaofan would naturally not forget the Dark Elf Carrera, not to mention that the Blood Moon nation behind Carrera wanted to trade equipment with the little Lala's Black Iron Dwarf Castle. It's just that a long time has passed, and this deal has not been done. Obviously, Karina or the Blood Nation has encountered trouble. Tang Xiaofan knew that the Blood Moon Nation has been at war with the human-faced spider clan. "Big brother, it's not the Dark Elf sister." The little Lali shook her head and said, "That's a very beautiful sister." She didn't tell Kara her name, but she asked Kara to call her goddess sister. Goddess sister? Tang Xiaofan's heart skipped a beat, suspecting that the goddess of luck had descended on the little Lala's Black Iron Dwarf Castle. Because he had learned from the old dwarf more earlier that the little Lali was really favored by the goddess of luck, so the European Emperor's aura was so strong. Stepping on a small spider to death can explode the blueprint. This was an unimaginable European Emperor's aura for Tang Xiaofan at the time. Tang Xiaofan asked, "Why did she come to your castle?" "Well," the little girl tilted her head and said, "the goddess sister didn't do anything. She just asked Kara to chat with her, and then gave Kara a crystal to eat. Kara didn't want to eat it at first, because the crystal is very hard. She definitely can't digest it. But the goddess sister told Kara not to worry." "Wow, the crystal is not delicious." The little girl smacked her lips. Obviously, the little girl ate it in the end. The little girl said to Tang Xiaofan happily, "Big brother, that crystal is really amazing." Wow. After eating it, Kara immediately promoted to the peak of the 21st level. The goddess sister also said that after the power of the crystal is fully dissolved, Kara can become a god. Tang Xiaofan's mouth twitched slightly. He only realized at this time that the little girl's rank had really reached the peak of the 21st level. There is an extremely powerful force hidden in her petite body. She is just one step away from becoming a demigod. You have to know that Bear Grylls fought with his ancient giant bear army and killed countless wild monsters. He has only been promoted to the early stage of level 21. If Bear Grylls knew that little Lali was promoted to the peak of level 21 by a crystal and could become a god in the future, he would be jealous to death. That crystal is most likely a godhead, and the goddess sister that little Lali mentioned must be the goddess of luck. Tang Xiaofan is now more certain, but he still secretly communicates with Stark on the side and asks him to make the final confirmation. Soon Stark sent a message to Tang Xiaofan that there is indeed a godhead in little Lala's body, and that godhead has been refined by the gods with powerful divine power and can be directly absorbed. Because of this, little Lala's rank can grow so fast. This can also directly prove that the woman who appeared in the Dark Iron Dwarf Castle is the goddess of luck. After all, apart from the gods, who can easily take out and send out a godhead that has been refined by divine power, it seems that only the goddess of luck who favors the little Lali would do such a thing. The only thing that Tang Xiaofan couldn't figure out was, what is the purpose of the goddess of luck? Tang Xiaofan looked at the cute little Lali and asked, "Is that sister still in your castle?" "Yeah." The little Lali nodded and said, "The goddess sister told Kara that she would leave after Kara became a god, and Kara also likes the goddess sister very much. If you meet the goddess sister, you will definitely like her." After hearing the little lolly's words, Tang Xiaofan shook his head secretly. Before he was sure of the strength of the goddess of luck, he would not go to see her. What if the goddess of luck is stronger than Stark now, and is hostile to him? It would be a big trouble for him. At least we must first determine whether the goddess of luck is an enemy or a friend, before we can have further communication. At that time, we can find out what her purpose is for favoring the little lolly, and giving her the divinity. Although it is likely that the goddess of luck came with good intentions, Tang Xiaofan can't be careless. Tang Xiaofan looked at the little Lalita and said, "Remember not to tell your goddess sister about the crystal mark of the space teleportation array. My kingdom. Only you can come, understand?" After saying that, he felt that it was unnecessary. With the strength of the goddess of luck, if she really wanted to obtain the crystal mark of the teleportation array from the little Lalita, it would be a very simple thing. After all, she is a god of faith in ancient times. The power is unpredictable. The little Lalita nodded her head very seriously and said, "Kenna knows. Without the consent of the Great Master, Kenna will not tell the crystal mark to anyone." "That's good." Tang Xiaofan smiled and rubbed her head. "The dark elf from the Blood Moon Kingdom hasn't come to see you yet." "No," said the little Lalita. "Maybe the dark elf sister was delayed by something." Tang Xiaofan did not ask any more questions. At the beginning, due to the shortage of supplies in the castle, he was looking forward to making an equipment transaction with the dark elf Kara and upgrading the castle after obtaining a large amount of supplies. But now he is not so looking forward to it. After all, his castle has been upgraded to a high-level royal capital. Therefore, the upgrade materials needed cannot be exchanged for just tens of thousands of equipment. And even if all the gains from the exchange are soul stones, it is far from enough to upgrade his remaining to level 8 military buildings to level 9. Therefore, he does not care whether the dark elf Kara will appear again. Moreover, if she does not have an accident, then he will see her again when his kingdom army attacks the Blood Moon state. At this time, the little Lali suddenly screamed, staring at the Dragon Island in the distance with wide eyes, exclaimed, "Big brother, there is a sea and a big island in your kingdom." Tang Xiaofan smiled and said, "Do you want to go to the island to have a look?" "Really?" The little Lali blinked her big eyes and looked at Tang Xiaofan with longing. "Of course." Tang Xiaofan smiled and held her hand, flying to Dragon Island. Along the way, the little Lalita was shouting with excitement. She hadn't seen the sea yet. "It's so beautiful here. Wow. Look, there are so many big lizards on the island." "That's a dragon." "Oh, yes. The big lizards in this world are called dragons, sir." Kenna's little black shark hole has also grown very big. Grandpa Moore said he is more than 80 meters long. The growth rate is not too slow. You have to cultivate it well. The lucky little Lalita opened a dragon egg from a wild treasure chest a long time ago and hatched a dark dragon. Now it has grown to more than 80 meters long and is expected to be promoted to the king level. The growth rate is indeed not slow. Chapter 431. Any living being has the opportunity to become a god king. Tang Xiaofan took the little Lalita around Dragon Island for a few laps. To be honest, the scenery of Dragon Island is really good. There are good places to check in everywhere. And there are a lot of dragons, more than 2,000. There are no dragons in the dragon's nest anymore. All the dragons have moved to the Dragon Island of the kingdom. The scene of more than 2,000 dragons flying together is shocking enough. It also made the little Lalita clap her hands and shout, laughing happily. Finally, Tang Xiaofan took the little Lalita again, riding a diamond dragon with a shiny body, flew a circle in the blue sea, and then returned to the palace. After dinner, the little Lalita was reluctant to leave Tang Xiaofan's kingdom. Tang Xiaofan asked her the reason, and the little Lalita told her that the goddess sister was waiting for her to help her digest the crystal she had eaten. Until now, the little Lalita didn't know that it was actually a godhead. It was a treasure that was enough to make all the castle lords jealous. But she was confused and thought it was a crystal. After the little girl left, Tang Xiaofan became more relaxed. The reason was simple. Stark was a very qualified and competent housekeeper. He managed his kingdom in an orderly manner in just one day. Under the management of Stark and Jarvis, the millions of people in the kingdom were all doing their work in an orderly manner without any chaos. In fact, For Stark, managing Tang Xiaofan's kingdom was effortless. Millions of people were nothing. When he was in the illusory farmer's world, he managed trillions of farmers. Under his rule, the farmer's world not only became more prosperous and powerful, but the farmer's army under his command was invincible and conquered thousands of planes and countless life planets. So, Tang Xiaofan was very relieved to leave the kingdom to Stark. My lord, after an unknown amount of time, Stark appeared in front of Tang Xiaofan and saluted respectfully. I have distributed those army evolution drawings. I believe that many soldiers will achieve blood purification. In addition, I have reserved some evolution drawings, and will give them to Xinyi and the others, after they come back. But what? Tang Xiaofan asked in confusion. Stark said, I checked those purification drawings, and found that the success rate is lower after the soldiers with higher bloodline genes use them. For Xinyi, even the advanced purification drawings are useless to him. And the advanced evolution drawings can barely have some effect on other soldiers. Yeah. Tang Xiaofan nodded. He had already seen this. Stark asked, my lord, are there any higher level evolution drawings? Tang Xiaofan said, of course there are, but you need to kill more powerful enemies to get them. If you want Xinyi to continue to evolve into a god, I'm afraid you have to kill gods to get the drawings. There is a top level above the advanced level, but the top level drawings are very difficult to get. The drop rate of killing demigods is pitifully low. Tang Xiaofan felt that, if he wanted to get the evolution blueprints of top level soldiers, he would probably have to kill gods. Suddenly, Tang Xiaofan thought of a question. He looked at Stark and asked, are there any heroes more powerful than you? For example, other supervillains? Stark shook his head and said, in the illusory farmer god world, as a peak main god, I'm the most powerful warrior, but there is no warrior stronger than me. Tang Xiaofan said, does that mean your end point is the peak of the main god? Stark thought for a while and said, my lord, there is no end to the promotion path of any creature. Even the most humble goblin may be promoted to the God King. However, the probability of a goblin being promoted to the God King is so low that it can be ignored. My limit is the peak of the main god, but if I'm lucky enough to see through the laws of the God King, I can also be promoted to the God King. As for whether I can evolve into a stronger me by then, it is unknown. Heroes are the pinnacle of the farmer clan. There has never been a warrior more powerful than Stark, but it's just that there was no such thing before. It doesn't mean that superheroes are the end point of farmers. Perhaps one day in the future, a farmer under Tang Xiaofan will be lucky enough to break through the superhero level, break through the peak of the main god, and be promoted to the God King who commands all the major gods. As for Tang Xiaofan, even if a farmer becomes the God King, his identity as the omnipotent Lord and Creator will not change. Tang Xiaofan nodded and said, hope is a good thing. I wish you can break through the limit and become the God King in the future. Praise you, omnipotent Lord. Stark saluted respectfully. World Chat Channel. At night, countless castle lords and wanderers gathered here, chatting and talking about everything. Perhaps for the castle lords, brushing the chat channel is also a way to relieve loneliness. After all, many castle lords have not seen people of the same kind for a long time. For these castle lords, humans and other worlds are not the same kind as them. Only castle lords are of the same kind. They can only find a familiar feeling in the world chat channel. Of course, there are also many castle lords who have achieved offline gatherings with the help of teleportation arrays and formed groups with solid foundations. I just want to know one thing. When will Boss Tang Xiaofan's Black Tech Kingdom be open? I want to ask that, too. I can't wait to settle down in the Black Tech Kingdom. Let's be cautious first. If you trespass into the Black Tech Kingdom's territory without Boss Tang Xiaofan's consent, it will be tantamount to invasion. When the time comes, you will be killed by Boss Tang Xiaofan's demons and you won't be able to find a place to complain. That makes sense. We definitely can't go now. We can only wait for Boss Tang Xiaofan to open the kingdom. If there is a chance, I'll be the first to sign up. If nothing else, I must become one of the first castle lords of the Black Tech Kingdom. There are so many people who want to join the Black Tech Kingdom. The world announcement clearly stated that, after joining the Orthodox Kingdom forces, you cannot betray or disobey the orders of the Lord. Such restrictions are too terrible. Who would want to betray if you can join the Black Tech Kingdom? With the protection of boss Tang Xiaofan, there is hope of becoming a god in the future. That's right. In the entire castle force, there are so many castle lords and wanderers who want to join the Black Tech Kingdom. It is very difficult for ordinary castle lords like us to become gods, but with the protection of Big Brother Tang Xiaofan, it is different. Big Brother Tang Xiaofan's Black Technology Kingdom is our hope to become gods. Besides, the war of gods is coming. Without the protection of big brothers, we are likely to be annihilated in the battlefield of gods. Agree. Many castle lords and wanderers spoke in the world chat channel, and they all expressed their desire to join Tang Xiaofan's Black Technology Kingdom and become citizens of his kingdom. The reason is simple. They want to follow Tang Xiaofan and become immortal gods in the future. According to their development speed, it is unknown how long it will take to become gods, and it is very likely that they will die during this period. So they put their hopes on Tang Xiaofan. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 432, Refining Godhead Fragments and Becoming a God. At this time, a castle lord spoke up. I heard that the kingdoms of the Black Technology Heaven each occupied a corner of the Karami Prairie and the Barlily Highlands, scaring many castle lords in these two areas to flee. If it were me, I would run away too. Once the demon army of boss Tang Xiaofan sweeps over, which castle force can stop it? Before the Black Technology Heaven is opened, Tang Xiaofan is likely to regard all castle lords as hostile forces, destroy their castles, and annihilate their troops. So, we have to escape. I'm one of the castle lords who ran away. I wonder when the kingdom army of the Black Technology Heaven will attack these two areas. It shouldn't be too soon. Tang Xiaofan still has to clear the forest. Agree. Haha, even if Tang Xiaofan sends troops to attack the Karami Prairie, we are not afraid. The one to be afraid should be him. Soon the Black Technology Heaven will be destroyed in our hands. Not to mention the strength of the brother upstairs. You are quite arrogant. At this point, who still dares to say that they can destroy boss Tang Xiaofan's Black Technology Heaven? Not to mention one or two top castle lords. Even the Alliance can't do it. Look at the ID. That person seems to be a member of the Grassland Paradise Alliance. Since when did Grassland Paradise become so awesome? It even claims that it can destroy the Black Technology Heaven. Many castle lords were laughing. There was no doubt that Tang Xiaofan was powerful, and he suppressed the entire castle force. At this time, another castle lord spoke up, which caused the wind direction to change drastically. I do know some gossip. I heard that Grassland Paradise has received support from a beast god of faith from ancient times. It is said that the beast god of faith possesses the throne of a lower level true god. Lower level true god, is it true? Oh my god. Has the god of faith arrived so soon? If there are really gods attacking the kingdom of Black Technology, I'm afraid that all the demigods of Tang Xiaofan's kingdom will be dead. Not just the demigods, the entire kingdom will be razed to the ground. After all, he is a god. Fortunately, I didn't go to Tang Xiaofan, otherwise I would have been dead too. If the news is true, then Tang Xiaofan will be in big trouble. The kingdom of Black Technology is in danger. I didn't expect that Grassland Paradise would act so quickly. No wonder the members of their alliance are so active today, and no alliance member has fled the Karami Prairie. It seems that they have someone to rely on. What a pity for Tang Xiaofan. Tang Xiaofan has finally established the kingdom, and it is an orthodox dynasty force recognized by the laws of the world. It is about to be destroyed by the beast god of faith. It's really a bit sad. I asked a friend of mine who was in the Grassland Paradise Alliance, and got confirmation of the news. Now it depends on when the beast god of faith will descend on the Black Technology Heaven. I asked too, and the news is true. It's over. It seems that boss Tang Xiaofan is really going to be in trouble. Not necessarily. What if the beast god of faith descends again in a few months? Then, he will be the one to die. With boss Tang Xiaofan's development speed, it will be absolutely easy to destroy a lower level peak true god in a few months. Haha, that makes sense. The world chat channel is very lively, and many castle lords and wanderers are discussing about the beast god of faith. Even the major alliances are discussing it. The top castle lords in the alliance are eagerly looking forward to the beast god of faith to descend as soon as possible so that they can destroy Tang Xiaofan's kingdom with a slap, and then they will be happy. From the time he descended on the god and demon continent to now, these top castle lords have been suppressed by Tang Xiaofan. Even if they assembled 1,000,000 troops to besiege the Black Technology Castle, they could not turn over. Now, the opportunity finally appears. They were naturally looking forward to the destruction of the Black Technology Heaven. Brothers from the Grassland Heaven did a great job. I just hope that the beast god of faith can act faster and destroy Tang Xiaofan's kingdom as soon as possible. I'm about to collapse. Same collapse. Yes, we have to act faster. After all, if it's really like what the people in the world chat channel said, it will come back in a few months. I'm afraid it won't be Tang Xiaofan who dies then. Contact the top castle lords of the Grassland Heaven and ask them to urge the beast god of faith and explain the interests involved, especially Tang Xiaofan's growth rate. Don't worry, someone has already contacted the Grassland Heaven. I believe it won't be too long before the beast god of faith will descend on the Black Technology Heaven. Brothers, as long as Tang Xiaofan dies, the good days of our top castle lords will come. Haha. Many top castle lords of the alliance were excited. The opportunity to overthrow Tang Xiaofan was right in front of them, so how could they not be excited? Unfortunately, they were too happy too early. If they knew that Tang Xiaofan already had a superhero at the level of middle level true god, they would not be so eager to expect the beast god of faith to come to the Black Technology Heaven. Because that was to send Tang Xiaofan ahead. The true god came to send Tang Xiaofan heads, experience, and treasures. TSK. If they knew, they would be directly confused. What is collapse? It's going crazy in an instant. Black Technology Heaven, the Palace Hall. My lord. Zhang Yi has led the team back and handed the harvest of this trip to Tang Xiaofan. Tang Xiaofan glanced at it, and his eyebrows were immediately overjoyed. He smiled and said, well done. The only pity is that the half-god monster killed by Zhang Yi and others did not explode the blueprint. Otherwise, it would be at least a high-level blueprint. Unfortunately, it didn't explode, and only tens of thousands of soul stones were exploded. Of course, there is also its Warcraft corpse, which can be used to collect a large number of demigod-level monster materials to create very powerful equipment. In addition, there is its soul, which was captured by the Terminator guide and placed in the Holy Light Temple for transformation. Tang Xiaofan stored all the soul stones he had harvested and handed the other spoils to Stark to deal with. He only left one item, which was the core mission of Zhang Yi and others on this trip, the fragment of the Godhead. At this time, the fragment of the Godhead was placed in Tang Xiaofan's palm. It was a 36-sided body, like a dazzling crystal. It exuded an extremely bright light and a very terrifying divine power. Fragment of the Godhead, grade, divine item. Description: this is a fragment of the Godhead of a beast god from a swan man, containing very terrible divine power, contains divine power, 78 drops, contains laws, 9 laws of destiny. Special reminder, do not use this fragment of the Godhead before refining it, otherwise you may explode and die directly due to the conflict of laws. Do you need to refine it? I wonder if the fragment of the Godhead used by Dragon Nest Patriarch Gallop has been refined. Tang Xiaofan was a little confused, but he didn't think much about it. Just refine it. With Stark's strength as a mid-level god, it shouldn't be a problem to refine a fragment of the Godhead. Once the refining is successful, he can absorb the power in it and be promoted to the peak of demigod. At that time, he will be able to use the attributeless Godhead awarded to him by the game official to directly be promoted to a true god and become an immortal god. Looking at the fragment of the Godhead in his hand and thinking that he will soon be able to become a god, Tang Xiaofan's heart was also excited. Chapter 433 Focus on the first group of farmers summoned. Tang Xiaofan's eyes left the brilliant fragment of the Godhead placed in his palm and looked at Zhang Yi standing in the hall. He was sitting on the throne in the hall, with Stark standing beside him. This picture gave him an illusion That is, he really became the omnipotent lord, the supreme creator of the farmer clan, and his kingdom, the black technology heaven, was the farmer's divine realm. Of course, this was really just an illusion. The current black technology heaven was far inferior to the farmer's divine realm in the virtual world. He had to become stronger in order to realize his dream and goal. Tang Xiaofan leaned against the throne and asked Zhen Yi standing in the hall. After killing the demigod monster, did any warriors advance to the demigod realm? Zhen Yi replied respectfully, reporting to my lord, there are a total of 3 upper warriors who have been promoted to the demigod level. Very good. Tang Xiaofan nodded, expressing his satisfaction. In this way, he had 12 demigods under his command, namely, Spirit Olivia, Zhan Yi, Zhan Angel of Heart Tigger, Zhan Shiki, Zhan 12, Great Elf Monica and Terminator Guide, then the new Guardian Angel, and the 3 warriors who had just been promoted. Zhan Qiwu, Zhan Liuji, and Zhan 12. Tang Xiaofan still remembered that they were warriors summoned a long time ago. With the help of the arms evolution drawings, they were promoted to the peak level of level 21. Now, in the process of killing the demigod monsters and destroying the monster family, they were promoted to demigods, which can be said to make him very satisfied. However, Nang Yi and Nang who were born on the first day of Tang Xiaofan's arrival in the God and Demon continent, have not been promoted to demigods so far. You know, Nang Yi and Nang were already at the peak of the saint level when they killed the Dragon Nest Patriarch Gallop. Now they have participated in this operation, but they still have not been promoted to demigods. This makes him somewhat disappointed. In theory, although Nang Yi and Nang are just farmers, auxiliary arms, but their growth potential and infrastructure have reached the demigod realm. With the potential, why can't they be promoted? Is it necessary to increase the growth limit of Nang Yi and Nang? Thinking of this, Tang Xiaofan said to Stark on the side, you should pay attention to the initial batch of farmers Nang Yi and Nang and find a way to train them into demigods. The first batch of farmers who followed Tang Xiaofan, such as Nang Yi, Nang, Zhan Yi and others, have already reached the limit of the peak of level 21. They have made great contributions to Tang Xiaofan's castle on his development path. Now, he can get a large number of army evolution drawings at any time, and Tang Xiaofan will naturally not forget them. Yes, my lord almighty. Stark nodded respectfully. Zhan Yi, who was standing in the hall, lowered his head in great respect. The lord is merciful. After Zhan Yi left the palace hall, Tang Xiaofan looked at the dazzling fragment of the godhead in his hand again and asked, Stark, with your power as a mid-level god, can you refine this fragment of the godhead? Stark said respectfully, my lord, don't worry. For me, refining this fragment of the godhead is just a small matter. At most, I can refine it into the pure source of divine power in one night and let the lord absorb it. That's good. Tang Xiaofan smiled and handed the fragment of the godhead to Stark. Stark took it respectfully and then said again, my lord, this fragment of the godhead contains 9 god-level laws of destiny. The god-level laws of destiny are very useful to the Angel of Destiny Claire. Hearing this, Tang Xiaofan understood what he meant. He nodded slightly and said, do as you wish. Give the law of destiny to the Angel of Destiny Claire. Praise you, my omnipotent lord. Stark's mouth corners slightly raised and said, with these 9 god-level laws of destiny, Claire has a great chance to directly condense the godhood and be promoted to a true god. Tang Xiaofan's eyes lit up. He didn't expect that there would be an unexpected gain, but after thinking about it carefully, he felt it was normal. Claire, the Angel of Destiny, was at the peak of demigod when she was born. If she could harvest the power of 9 god-level laws of destiny in a row, then it would not be impossible for her to be promoted to a true god. After all, she already holds the power of destiny. It has the same origin as the power of the law of destiny and the fragments of the godhood. For others, the law of destiny is useless. If it is absorbed forcibly, there is a great probability that it will cause a conflict of laws and tear apart her demigod body. But for Claire, who holds the power of destiny, these 9 laws of destiny are the most perfect treasures for cultivation. They can be easily absorbed and refined into her own laws of destiny. After obtaining the 9-2 god-level destiny law, the strength of the destiny angel Claire will also be greatly improved. It is not impossible to condense the godhood and become a true god. Once Claire successfully ascends, then my black technology heaven will have 3 gods. Stark, Claire, and Olivia, who has been in seclusion until the last moment. Oh, and me. Tang Xiaofan smiled. When Stark refines the fragments of the godhood into the pure source of divine power, let him absorb the divine power, and his rank will be able to quickly ascend to the peak of demigod. At that time, he can use the natural attributeless godhood rewarded by the game official, and then directly become an immortal god. Thinking of this, Tang Xiaofan's smile on his face became brighter. After all, that is a god. Entering the god level, he doesn't even need to consider the issue of lifespan. As long as he is not killed, he is eternal and immortal. God. Immortality. This is the realm that hundreds of castle lords dream of. It is also one of the goals of the 10,000 Races tournament. Soon, I will be able to enter this realm. It took less than a month. Such a speed, let alone the lord of the castle. Even the gods of the faith system and the truth system would probably find it unbelievable. In 1 month, from immortal to a true god, who dares to believe it? Question mark? Even Tang Xiaofan himself did not expect that his growth rate could be so fast. Of course, thanks to Bai. If it were not for the gift he sent, Tang Xiaofan would not be able to get the fragment of the godhead. Without the fragment of the godhead, he would have to wait for a while if he wanted to rely on killing enemies to advance to the peak of the demigod and then use the non-attribute review. A new day, a new atmosphere. Tomorrow will be a good day. Tang Xiaofan opened the trading channel, and the items that were put on the shelves yesterday, except for food, were basically sold out, including those advanced architectural drawings, level 20 magic skill drawings, holy tools and equipment, etc., which were auctioned, have all been auctioned. Tang Xiaofan also obtained a large amount of materials, including wood, stone, refined iron and soulstone. Chapter 434. If you are not strong, you will be eliminated one day. For other castle lords, the materials he harvested this time were huge, enough to upgrade their castles and military buildings to a very high level. But for Tang Xiaofan, the materials he harvested were only a part of his reserves, because he was too rich. The various materials in his warehouse added up to more than 10 billion units. There were also tens of millions of soulstones, which was unimaginable for any castle lord. So facing the proceeds from the sale and auction, Tang Xiaofan could be said to be calm. At the same time, Tang Xiaofan also found that more and more castle lords and wanderers were selling the architectural drawings of the space teleportation magic array in the trading area. At a glance, the trading channel was full of information on the sale of space teleportation array drawings. It can be seen that the teleportation array has almost become popular. The popularization of the teleportation array allows the castle lords to form a group alliance, and the frequency of castle battles will be reduced accordingly. After all, even the top castle lords dare not guarantee that the low-level castle lords he attacked have a large number of companions behind them to support them. Once you encounter a weak castle lord who pretends to be a pig and eats the tiger, I'm afraid that the top castle lord will also suffer. But then again, the frequency of castle battles has decreased, but the scale will also expand accordingly. I believe that various castle group battles have appeared now. Tang Xiaofan has no doubt about this. The lord of the castle has always been a restless problem. Attacking local forces, attacking other castle lords, plundering resources, and speeding up the development of their own castles are almost the instincts of the lord of the castle. Therefore, the castle war is impossible to stop. On the contrary, as time goes by, the strength of the castle lords is getting stronger and stronger, and the scale and influence of the castle war will become larger and larger. Once it develops to the later stage and competes for powerful castle forces and castle alliances, the lords of the castles will not stay in their respective areas to develop, but will change the target of the war to the local empire in the central area of the god and demon continent. This is the development trend of the castle power. Even without the guidance of the game official, those castle lords will naturally embark on the road of hegemony among all races. It is not an exaggeration to say that it is a destined fate. Even Tang Xiaofan is the same. Like other castle lords, he will never live in a corner. because he knows that if he does not make himself stronger, he will be eliminated by this cruel world one day. Even if he becomes a god, it is the same. Little do they know that the war of gods is coming, and the true god is just an inconspicuous corpse on the battlefield. After visiting the trading area, Tang Xiaofan browsed the world chat channel for a while. At this moment, there are still many people discussing the topics between the grassland paradise, the beast god of faith, and the black technology heaven. Many castle lords are worried about Tang Xiaofan's black technology heaven. After all, a beast god of faith from the ancient times is about to invade Tang Xiaofan's kingdom. Who can resist the invasion of gods? Tang Xiaofan is afraid that he can't. However, there are more castle lords and wanderers waiting to watch the show. They all want to see whether a beast god of faith who has survived from the ancient war of gods can destroy the mountain above their heads. Especially some of the top castle lords. They are looking forward to this moment. I didn't expect that the news has spread. What Bear Grylls said is right. The Grassland Paradise Alliance has really hooked up with the beast god of faith from ancient times. What a pity. I have to disappoint you again. Tang Xiaofan looked at the information scrolling on the world chat channel and muttered to himself. Soon, he, Claire, and Olivia will all become gods. In addition, Stark is at the level of middle level god. What does a beast god of faith at the peak of a lower level true god count for? If he really dares to come, the beast god of faith will definitely die. He will definitely be given a god's head. After closing the world chat channel, Tang Xiaofan didn't think about it anymore. Stark had already gone to refine the fragments of the godhood for him. It was late at night, and Tang Xiaofan also returned to his villa palace. It was a very beautiful night. The next morning, Tang Xiaofan woke up early. After breakfast, Tang Xiaofan and Zhang Yi came to the outside of the palace hall together. What caught his eyes was the dense crowd of angels praying around the farmer's factory. To date, the number of angels under his command has exceeded 10,000, reaching nearly 14,000. This is very terrifying. If it spreads, it will surely terrify countless castle lords. After all, angels are the highest combat power in the castle forces. It is difficult to deal with one, not to mention that Tang Xiaofan still has 14,000 angels, a total of 14 angel legions. Such a war strength is terrible. It is just as Tang Xiaofan said, even if a million troops besieged his capital, they would be annihilated. Just the 14 angel legions under his command are enough to kill the million troops of the castle forces. Of course, if the million troops are from the local empire in the central area, that is another matter. It has to be admitted that the war strength of the local empire is absolutely terrible. So far, no castle force dared to provoke the local empire in the central area. Even Tang Xiaofan did not have such a mind. At least he had to wait until he conquered the 3 surrounding areas of the Baliri Highlands, the Kalari Prairie, and the Death Swamp, and had a stronger kingdom strength. He would consider attacking the local empire. His first choice, if nothing unexpected happened, would be the Huayao Empire. Because the Huayao Empire is closest to him, it is located at the easternmost part of the wilderness no man's land. It is only 200,000 kilometers away. At this time, Tang Xiaofan turned his attention to the fairy mother tree that was thousands of meters high in the distance. The beautiful natural elves surrounded the fairy mother tree and sat cross-legged together to meditate. For them, the life and natural magic emitted by the fairy mother tree can speed up their growth. As the level of the fairy mother tree was raised to level 9, the life and natural magic it emitted became more intense, almost condensed into mist, and nearly 10,000 beautiful natural elves were shrouded in it. Yes, Tang Xiaofan has nearly 10,000 natural elves under his command. The reason is very simple. Yesterday he bred 3,000 elf soldiers at one time, plus the thousands of natural elves bred before, and from the original tribe, a total of nearly 10,000. When today's breeding is over, the number of natural elves under his command will exceed 10,000. Perhaps soon, the scale of the natural elf army will become larger than the angel army. Because they are both level 9 troop buildings, the farmer factory needs souls to transform into angel holy spirits, while the elf mother tree can breed a full 3,000 elf soldiers every day. If Tang Xiaofan hadn't used a large number of initial troop number drawings, it would be impossible for his angels to be more than natural elves. Chapter 435. Congratulations on finally becoming a god. If Tang Xiaofan did not obtain more initial army numbers in the next war, it would only be a matter of time before the number of natural elves under his command surpassed the angels. Of course, Tang Xiaofan believed that he would definitely gain a lot by attacking the 3 areas including the Karami Prairie and obtain a large number of army numbers again. Because in these 3 areas, there are countless castle forces and local forces. The more enemies there are, the greater his gains will be. Just as Tang Xiaofan was heading to the farmer factory and preparing to continue to replenish some living farmers, the elf mother tree in the distance suddenly shone with dazzling light. At the same time, there was a very terrifying pressure emanating. The natural elf element surrounding the elf mother tree. The elves were also awakened from meditation, looking up at the giant tree in front of them. Their expressions were extremely excited. The mother's retreat is over. This is divine power. The mother has been promoted to a true god. Praise His Majesty the King. The elves were extremely excited, especially those natural elves from the tribe. The excitement in their hearts was difficult to control. At the beginning, the most powerful elf in their tribe was only at the peak of level 21. Now, not only their great elder Monica has been promoted to a demigod, but Olivia, the spirit of the mother tree of elven creatures, has also been promoted to a true god. All of this was brought to them by His Majesty the King. Praise His Majesty the King. After a long time, the light of the mother tree of elven creatures dissipated and returned to its previous calm state. At the same time, a beautiful figure walked out of the tree of the mother tree of elven creatures. She stepped into the air and exuded a powerful divine power. It was Olivia. Lord. Olivia's figure flashed and appeared in front of Tang Xiaofan. At this time, he seemed to have discovered something and said with a bright smile, "It should be His Majesty the King. Praise you, my Majesty. You have made me what I'm now." Tang Xiaofan also smiled and nodded. "Congratulations on becoming a god. Praise you, my Majesty the King." Olivia saluted Tang Xiaofan with great sincerity. She was infinitely grateful to Tang Xiaofan, because if it weren't for Tang Xiaofan, she would still be at the peak of level 21, repeating the failed promotion journey again and again. Before she met Tang Xiaofan, she had tried to ignite the divine fire hundreds of times over the past 100 years, but she never succeeded, and she couldn't even be promoted to a demigod. After meeting Tang Xiaofan, she not only successfully ignited the divine fire and was promoted to a demigod, but now she has directly condensed the godhood and promoted to the realm of a true god. She has become an immortal god, and her improvement is really huge. And all of this is the help given to her by Tang Xiaofan. It was Tang Xiaofan who upgraded her body again and again, helping her to become a god. So she is naturally very grateful to Tang Xiaofan. It can be said that without the appearance of Tang Xiaofan, she would not have been promoted to a god now. But Tang Xiaofan smiled and nodded. He was also very happy that Olivia could be promoted to the realm of a true god. In this way, his Black Technology Kingdom has 2 true gods, one early middle god, and one early lower god. With 2 true gods, the power to protect the Black Technology Kingdom will naturally become stronger. At the same time, he checked Olivia's information. Olivia, identity, spirit of the elf mother tree, strength level, early lower true god, power possessed. 10 points, limit of growth potential, unlimited, special reminder, as the spirit of the elf mother tree in an alienated state, after Olivia's body is transformed into a military building, her limit of growth potential is equivalent to that of the lord of the castle, early lower true god, 10 points of power. Although she is many times weaker than Stark, Stark is a middle god after all, and Olivia is just a newly promoted lower god. Olivia's strength is still very strong. After all, she is a god. The power she releases casually is enough to suppress demigods. There is only one word difference between a true god and a demigod, but the strength they possess is a world of difference. Even if 10 demigods are added together, they are not the opponent of a true god. It can even be said that if Olivia, who has just been promoted to the level of a lower true god, fights against 10 veteran demigod peak powerhouses, she will still win. True god can easily suppress demigod. The power of god is beyond doubt. As for Olivia's unlimited growth potential limit, Tang Xiaofan knew it when the elf mother tree was transformed into his military building. Due to the transformation into a military building, Olivia has no growth limit like the lord of the castle. However, she is also bound to Tang Xiaofan's black technology heaven. Of course, even if there is no binding, Olivia is 100% loyal to Tang Xiaofan. Just like his farmer, she will never betray him. Tang Xiaofan looked at Olivia with a beautiful face and said with a smile, "Time flies. You have also been promoted to a true god, and I have also established a dynasty." Hearing this, Olivia's beautiful girlish cheeks flushed slightly and then whispered, "Olivia has been waiting for you to establish a kingdom, my dear majesty." Tang Xiaofan also grinned. Neither he nor Olivia forgot. The two promised each other that when he established the kingdom, he would make Olivia his princess. And Olivia had been looking forward to this moment. At the same time, she looked up at Stark and Tigger, who were standing side by side behind Tang Xiaofan, and seemed to see something. Her expression changed slightly, but then she smiled at Tigger and Stark. Tigger also nodded slightly in response. Tang Xiaofan came to the vicinity of the farmer's factory and checked the soul reserves. The information prompted that 1000 souls had been transformed. "Do you want to breed an angel holy spirit?" Yes, no. This time Tang Xiaofan did not choose yes, but directly chose no. Immediately, the information prompt came again. "Do you want to breed a complete angel?" Yes. The new information prompt did not give Tang Xiaofan room to choose. There was only one option. Tang Xiaofan did not hesitate and decisively chose to breed a complete angel. This was a decision he had made yesterday. After receiving Tang Xiaofan's order, the farmer factory with a diameter of 1 kilometer immediately absorbed the transformed souls and burst into a dazzling light. In the light, there were countless palm-sized angels flying and hymns echoing. At this time, a new information frame appeared in front of Tang Xiaofan's eyes. The current gestation time of a complete adult angel is 23 days, 7 hours and 45 minutes. This time is still decreasing. In other words, if Tang Xiaofan does nothing, his adult angel will be conceived in 23 days. Of course, it is not just one adult angel, but a full 1000 adult angels. Chapter 436, 10 million soul stones in exchange for a small amount of divine power crystals. This is because the efficiency of soul transformation is low now. There are not so many souls. The number of angels bred each time is 1000, so naturally the number of adult angels bred will also be 1000. After 23 days, he will have a legion of adult angels. The game official told me before that the gestation time of adult angels is about half a month. However, the gestation standard I told is 6 winged angels and angels with 6 wings or less. Now the gestation time is postponed to 23 days later. That is to say, among the 1000 adult angels randomly bred this time, there are 8 winged angels, and even 10 winged and 12 winged angels. Although the time has become longer, it is obviously good news. The breeding mechanism of the farmer's factory for adult angels is that the more the number of upper angels bred randomly, the higher the level, the longer the gestation time. So Tang Xiaofan said this is good news. But 23 days is still too long. After all, Tang Xiaofan will come to the God and Demon continent, and it will only take 1 month at most. 23 days, I can't wait. Thinking of this, Tang Xiaofan did not hesitate and immediately contacted the game official. "I want to use soul stones to exchange for divine crystals. Divine crystals can speed up the breeding of adult angels, that is, shorten the breeding time. In order to breed this batch of 1000 adult angels as soon as possible, Tang Xiaofan did not hesitate to consume a large number of soul stones to exchange for divine crystals. What he is doing now is equivalent to exchanging time. But after all, he believes that he will not lose, because the sooner he has this batch of adult angel legions, the faster he can capture the 3 surrounding areas, and then get more resources, then breed more adult angels and capture more areas. In this way, his kingdom will grow rapidly like a snowball. The speed of development will also exceed the imagination of the castle forces and even the local empire forces. When the War of Gods comes, the strength of his kingdom will become stronger. So whether in the short term or in the long run, he will not lose. His 4 military buildings, the farmer's factory, the elf mother tree, the monastery of light, and the dragon island, were upgraded to level 9 and 8 respectively. His existing soul stones were far from enough to upgrade the monastery of light and the dragon island to level 9. Basically, they could only be stored and had no use value. It would be better to take them out now and exchange them for divine crystals to speed up the breeding of adult angels. This is equivalent to an investment, and it is a guaranteed investment. Naturally, Tang Xiaofan had no idea of refusing. The official reply of the game also directly gave the exchange ratio of divine crystals. 1 million soul stones for 1 divine crystal. How many divine crystals does the current castle lord need to exchange? Seeing this information prompt, Tang Xiaofan checked his soulstone reserves. More than 58.6 million soulstones. The soulstone reserves are a little more than yesterday. Some of the increase came from the Warcraft family, and some came from the auction of advanced blueprint equipment and magic skills on the trading channel. Tang Xiaofan thought about it, and then communicated with the game official, saying that all soulstones should be exchanged for divine power crystals, after removing the decimals. Exchanging for divine power crystals. Exchange successful. Congratulations to the lord of the castle. You have obtained a total of 58 grams of standard units of divine power crystals. Excuse me, would you like to extract it now? Yes. No, extract. Tang Xiaofan chose to extract, and suddenly, a golden light flew out from the void, and when it landed in front of him, it had already turned into a dazzling divine power crystal. Each one was about the same size, the size of a thumb, with a very perfect cross-section, and looked like a very beautiful gem. The reason why gems appeared was that apart from the appearance, these divine power crystals did not emit any energy fluctuations, and there was no pressure from the position of God in the lore. They looked like beautiful decorative gems. However, this also shows that their energy structure is very stable. Even after a very long time, the divine power in them will not dissipate on its own. It can be preserved for a long time. Perhaps, it is not a problem to preserve it for tens of thousands of years. Olivia, who was standing by, looked over and stared at the divine crystals that appeared out of thin air. She seemed to have sensed something, and said in astonishment, "Your Majesty, this is the divine crystal." Tang Xiaofan took over her words and added, "It belongs to the path of cultivation of the gods. With their help, you can condense divine power and even improve your status as a god. However, for the god of faith, in addition to using divine crystals, the way to condense divine power can also be obtained by refining the power of faith. For example, when Tang Xiaofan is promoted to a god and becomes the god of faith, even if he does not have divine crystals in his hands, he can collect the power of faith of believers in him, refine his divine power, and store it in his body." Divine crystals? Olivia suddenly showed a shocked expression. She did not expect that Tang Xiaofan even had the legendary divine crystals. You must know that this is a thing of the gods. The most important thing is that the number of divine crystals suspended in front of Tang Xiaofan is still very large, with more than 50 grams, which makes her feel unbelievable. If Olivia knew that these 50 or so divine crystals were exchanged by Tang Xiaofan at the cost of more than 50 million soulstones, she would not be so surprised. After all, in order to exchange for these divine crystals, Tang Xiaofan almost sacrificed all his soulstones, leaving only a small amount, more than 630,000 soulstones. Looking at his remaining soulstone reserves, Tang Xiaofan couldn't help but twitch his mouth. He was really empty. With the remaining soulstones, Tang Xiaofan couldn't exchange for more divine crystals, but as long as he could breed adult angels as soon as possible, this loss was completely worth it. Then he asked the game official how to use the divine crystals. Throw them directly into the farmer's factory? Yes. Lord of the castle, yes. Tang Xiaofan nodded. This way of using it was simple and crude, and he didn't have to worry about it. Tang Xiaofan didn't hesitate. While opening the information prompt, he threw a divine crystal into the farmer's factory. Accompanied by a strong energy fluctuation, the divine crystal was directly absorbed by the farmer's factory. At the same time, the gestation time displayed in the information prompt was instantly reduced by 4 hours. 1 divine crystal. 12 hours is not bad. After all, there are 1,000 adult angels in the gestation. Thinking of this, Tang Xiaofan once again put the divine crystals into the farmer's factory one after another, and the gestation time was also shortened at a speed visible to the naked eye. Tang Xiaofan didn't feel bad at all, and directly put nearly 50 divine crystals into the farmer's factory. In an instant, the gestation time of adult angels was reduced from 23 days to only a fraction, 7 hours and 30 minutes. Chapter 437 Swallowing the Pure Godhead and Preparing to Become a God. That is to say, after more than 7 hours, his 1,000 adult angels will be bred. Tang Xiaofan took a look and found that there were still 55 divine crystals left. He did not continue to release them. He could wait for this time. He could not waste more divine crystals. After all, true gods were constantly appearing in his kingdom. He needed to use this kind of thing to condense divine power, especially in the process of fighting. If the divine power was lost too much, divine crystals would be needed to replenish it. So the remaining 55 divine crystals were stored in the king's ring by Tang Xiaofan. In the next half an hour, Tang Xiaofan bred the other arms of the new day, namely 3,000 elves, 2,000 light arms, and 1,000 dragon arms. More than 40 elemental elves appeared again in the elves, which was extremely lucky. Among the 2,000 light arms, there were also a large number of paladins, red-robed commanders and holy light Pegasus and other top arms. As for the 1,000 dragons recruited from Dragon Island, they were all varied. Because there are all kinds of dragons, such as the hunting dragon, frost dragon, dark dragon and other 5-color evil dragons, such as copper dragon, bronze dragon, black iron dragon, gold dragon, silver dragon and other metal dragons, in addition to emerald dragon, diamond dragon, sapphire dragon, emerald dragon, etc., almost occupying all dragon systems. When they were flying in the sky, Tang Xiaofan was simply dazzled. With the newly recruited 1,000 dragons, the number of dragons on Dragon Island has exceeded 3,000, reaching about 3,600, which is not a small scale. Tang Xiaofan was very satisfied with this. The only regret was that he did not recruit magical dragons such as space dragons, time dragons, and destiny dragons, which made Tang Xiaofan a little disappointed. But he was not in a hurry. He believed that one day, these magical dragons would fly out of Dragon Island and serve his kingdom. In the palace hall, Tang Xiaofan sat on the throne. In the spacious hall, there were dozens of important officials such as Stark and Sun Yi. In addition, there were Olivia, the great elf Monica, the elf elder Becky, the red dragon queen Xiaoyan, the red cardinal Louise, etc. Therefore, almost all the higher level officials of the kingdom were present. Tang Xiaofan leaned against the throne, holding his exclusive king's artifact, the king's scepter, exuding supreme majesty. He said calmly, after the efforts of various legions yesterday, the forest has been cleared by us. There is nothing there, except dense forests and mountains. The next war plan of our kingdom is to clear the Karami Prairie and the Barlily Highlands. All castle forces and local forces in these two areas, including those wild monsters, are all targets that need to be eliminated. Don't surrender, then die. There is no mercy on the road of war. Hearing this, the warriors, angels, and elves in the hall all looked serious. Tang Xiaofan continued, the warrior army is divided into two routes. Zhan Yi will lead the Angel Legion and the Natural Elf Legion to attack the Lamy Prairie. Zhan Er will lead the Dragon Legion, the Light Legion, the 100-Man Legion, and the Goblin Legion to attack the Barlily Highlands. The 2 million warriors are divided into two routes, that is, one area, each with 1 million troops. These kingdom arms are commanded by the commanders of each legion. I will not interfere with your way of fighting. I only have one request, and that is to sweep across these two areas as quickly as possible and clean up all the forces that refuse to bow their heads to my black technology heaven. Yes, my almighty lord. The warriors, angels and elves saluted respectfully. Go. Seeing Tang Xiaofan waved his hand, they quickly withdrew from the palace. Soon, the kingdom's major legions quickly assembled, and more than 2 million soldiers were divided into two armies, one attacking the Karami Prairie, and the other attacking the Barlily Highlands. With the current size and strength of the kingdom's army, Coupled with the demigods and a large number of level 21 and level 20 warriors, the two armies are bound to be able to sweep across the two areas with a crushing momentum. What Tang Xiaofan is least worried about is the castle forces in the area. Compared with his kingdom's army, the strength of the castle lord is too weak. It is not enough to compete with his army. The only thing to pay attention to is the local dynasty level forces guarded by demigods. These forces are not weak, and there are many of them, so they need to be treated with caution. But after all, the initiative of the war is in his hands. After all, in his army, there is Olivia, who is a god. At this time, a figure walked out of the void. Tang Xiaofan looked up, and his eyes suddenly lit up. Stark. Tang Xiaofan immediately asked, "Have you refined the fragment of the divine nature?" "Yes, my almighty lord." Stark nodded, and then handed the refined fragment of the godhead to Tang Xiaofan. Fragment of the godhead. Grade. Divine object. Description. This is an extremely pure fragment of the godhead, from a beast god of the Swan people, containing a very powerful source of pure divine power. Original divine power. 1. Contained laws. None. This is a new information after the fragment of the godhead was refined. The 78 drops of divine power originally contained were forcibly refined by Stark into an original divine power, which can be absorbed by any living being without worrying about conflicts. At the same time, the 9 laws of destiny contained in it were also stripped away. In a word, Tang Xiaofan is now able to absorb this fragment of the godhead, and thus directly promoted to the peak of demigod. Stark said respectfully, "My lord, I have stripped the law of destiny from it and handed it to the angel of destiny, Claire. Now Claire is in retreat to merge, and it is only a matter of time before she enters the level of a god." "Well done." Tang Xiaofan nodded to express his appreciation. Fortunately, Stark was there, otherwise even if he got this fragment of the godhead, he might not be able to use it, and it would be even more impossible for him to help the Angel of Destiny Claire. And now, once the Angel of Destiny Claire is promoted to a true god, and he is also promoted to the realm of true god, then by then, the Black Technology Heaven will have 4 gods. With such a powerful force, is it possible to sweep across the Karami Prairie and the Barbary Highlands? It can be said that the surrounding areas are destined to be ruled by him. Tang Xiaofan looked at the dazzling fragment of the godhead in his hand and asked Stark, "How do I absorb this thing?" "Eat it directly into my stomach." Before, the little loli swallowed a complete godhead raw, which was a gift from the goddess of luck. Stark nodded and said, "My lord, after eating it, I will lend a hand to the lord and absorb the original divine power in the fragment of the godhead." "Okay." Tang Xiaofan put the fragment of the godhead into his mouth and swallowed it without hesitation. Chapter 438. 2 groups of soldiers march forward in parallel to sweep across the country. Soon, he felt a terrifying energy appearing in his body, almost bursting his demigod limbs. But at this moment, another more terrifying energy surged into his body, quickly suppressing the violent original divine power. Then, the original divine power transformed from the fragments of the godhead began to strengthen his demigod body under the effect of that power, and quickly increased his own strength. In this process, Tang Xiaofan could clearly feel that his strength was soaring, and he was getting closer and closer to entering the peak of demigod. Karami Prairie, hundreds of kilometers away from the capital of the Kingdom of Black Technology, a million-strong army led by Zhang warrior corps, angel corps, and natural elf corps, swept in like a vast ocean. Wherever they passed, all the wild monsters in the grassland and local forces were wiped out. No enemy could resist the army of the Kingdom of Black Technology. Under the sweep of the army, all enemies were wiped out. The only pity was that the lord of the nearby castle had already fled. Otherwise, the army would have been able to harvest a lot of supplies. But this is not a big problem, because only the castle forces around the capital of the Black Technology Heaven Kingdom escaped. In the depths of the Karami Prairie, there are still a large number of castle lords waiting for hope. For example, the castle lords of the Prairie Heaven, this alliance, are waiting for the arrival of the beast god, so that they can destroy Tang Xiaofan's Black Technology Heaven Kingdom in one fell swoop. As long as there is no Black Technology Heaven Kingdom, they naturally don't have to worry about encountering the attack of the Black Technology Heaven Kingdom Demon Legion. At the end of the grassland, a majestic castle stands tall. The area directly under the castle reaches a diameter of 50 kilometers. In the castle, a large number of various buildings are also seen, and the city walls are also very tall. Such castles are rare in the Karami Prairie. It can even be said that there are only a few, because it is a primary main city. Not surprisingly, it is Bear Grylls Castle, the ancient giant bear castle. I don't know when Tang Xiaofan's kingdom army will start to attack the Karami Prairie. It's easy for his 2 million troops to clear the forest. I believe it will be soon. Yi stood on the balcony on the top floor of the castle. His ancient giant bears also gathered in the open space of the castle, as many as more than 1,000. It's like a brown ocean. Today, Yi rarely went out hunting, because he was waiting for the arrival of the army of the Black Technology Kingdom. As the lord of the castle who surrendered to the ruling nut, he was looking forward to the war, because at that time, he could lead his ancient giant bear army and follow Tang Xiaofan's kingdom army to attack the castle forces on the Karami Prairie and even the local dynasty level forces. Compared with such a war, the harvest from hunting is nothing. He surrendered to Tang Xiaofan and became a subsidiary force of the Black Technology Kingdom. Isn't this for this? Yi didn't finish his words and suddenly stopped because he saw dense figures appearing in the distant sky, rushing towards his castle, the ancient giant bear castle, like a tsunami. So fast. The pupils of Bear Grylls shrank slightly, and his expression showed a hint of excitement. He didn't need to think at all to know that the army in the distant sky, like the sea, came from Tang Xiaofan's Black Technology Heaven. What surprised him was that Tang Xiaofan actually attacked the Karami Prairie so quickly. Could it be that the Black Technology Heaven had cleared the forest in just one day? But he didn't have time to think about it. He immediately jumped down from the balcony on the top floor of the castle, which was more than 200 meters high. Then he jumped and appeared directly on the back of an ancient giant bear that was tens of meters long. Ancient giant bear army, listen to my order. Follow me to the battle. Meet up with the army of the Black Technology Heaven. The war has come. Roar. More than 1,000 ancient giant bears stood up and roared with their heads raised. The roar was like rolling thunder, which seemed to tear apart the clouds in the sky. Soon, the ancient giant bear army completed its assembly. Under the leadership of Bear, they rushed out of the ancient giant bear castle like a tide, heading straight for the Black Technology Heavenly Kingdom army in the distance. Are you Bear, the lord of the castle? Zhang Yi flew towards him, with a cold visor and dark pupils staring at Bear, who was riding on the back of the ancient giant bear. The demigod power he exuded completely shocked Bear's mount and the ancient giant bears behind him, and they all lowered their heads in fear. As a top-level soldier, the intelligence of the ancient giant bear is not low, and it can be said that there is no difference between it and the dragon. If Zhang Yi was an enemy, they would certainly not be afraid at all, because they are fearless soldiers of the castle. But the situation is different now. They are already a legion belonging to the Black Technology Heavenly Kingdom. When facing Zhang Yi, who is the demigod of the kingdom, they naturally dare not raise their heads. On the contrary, they behave very submissively. Yes, Bear nodded at the cold Zhang Yi. Zhang Yi held a giant sword, exuding a dazzling cold expression, and said seriously, "My name is Zhang Yi, and I'm the Supreme Commander of the 1st Legion. From now on, you and your ancient giant bear legion will follow my army to fight in the Karami Prairie. Remember not to violate the war orders I issued." "Yes, Commander Zhang Yi." Bear nodded again, and he did not resist Zhang Yi's words at all. After all, compared with the kingdom army behind Zhang Yi, which was like the sea, the more than 1,000 ancient giant bears under his command were nothing. His pride as the lord of the top castle disappeared completely when facing the Black Technology Heaven. What shocked Bear most was not Zhang Yi's identity, but the number of steel demons flying high in the sky behind him was simply too many, densely packed like a swarm of bees, definitely more than 1,000,000. I didn't expect that Tang Xiaofan would have so many steel demons under his command. No wonder he was called a warrior army. Tang Xiaofan's farmer factory must have reached a very high level, maybe it was directly at level 9, and it must have used a large number of initial arms quantity blueprints. Yi secretly speculated that, if a large number of arms quantity blueprints were not used, Tang Xiaofan would not have so many demons. After all, there were more than 1,000,000 demons. Just thinking about it made his scalp tingle. After seeing the drones constantly cruising in the distance, he trembled all over. If Tang Xiaofan was his enemy, he would lose the courage to fight directly. Because the combat effectiveness of both sides is not at the same level at all, it can even be said that even the demigod level demon in front of him is enough to sweep his ancient giant bear army and even flatten his ancient giant bear castle. Therefore, he naturally would not have any arrogance, not to mention that he is a smart person who knows what to do and what not to do and knows how to get to the top. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 439, 2 million steel demons are simply horrifying. He secretly said to himself that one day he would become a legion commander under the Black Technology Kingdom, commanding a large-scale legion to go to war with the local empire. At this time, Zhang Yi passed on his war order, and soon the million-strong army in the rear was divided into 14 legions, which went to clear the wild monsters and local forces in different areas. There were a large number of level 21 and level 20 strong men in each legion. As for the kingdom demigods who followed the army, they randomly chose a legion to follow. Benny Yi also received his war mission, which was to follow one of the legions to participate in the attack. This legion was led by Zhen 178. Not long after, the mighty 14 legions, like a torrent, disappeared at the end of the grassland. Soon after, the World Chat channel also began to stir. The reason was simple. The forces of the castle lords were destroyed by the army of the Black Technology Kingdom. The castle and the buildings in the city were all turned into ruins. There were more castle lords. When they were hunting, they saw Tang Xiaofan's kingdom army from a distance. Without saying a word, he turned around and ran away. World Chat channel, it's crazy. The army of the Black Technology Kingdom is really coming. It's so terrifying. At first glance, the army of the Black Technology Kingdom is like the sea, and the number of soldiers is terrifying. There are at least more than 100,000. I also think there are so many. It's so dense. I agree. Brothers upstairs, are you seeing the same army? It's not such a coincidence. By the way, I also encountered Tang Xiaofan's kingdom army. I didn't hesitate at all. I demolished the heart of the castle and ran away. I didn't even care about the supplies in the castle. I have a friend, and his castle in the Bullerly Highlands was also captured. Although he was lucky enough not to die, the heart of the castle was destroyed, and my friend was forced to change his job to a wanderer. Wait, Tang Xiaofan's Black Technology Kingdom army, isn't it attacking our Karami Prairie? Karami Prairie? It shouldn't be. Many castle forces in the Bullerly Highlands have suffered. The soldiers under Tang Xiaofan's command ruthlessly destroyed the castle and plundered the castle supplies. Which area is Tang Xiaofan's kingdom army attacking? I want to ask that too. I received news that Tang Xiaofan is attacking Karami Prairie and Bullerly Highlands at the same time, and the scale of his kingdom army is terrifyingly large, at least over 1 million. A million troops? How is that possible? For boss Tang Xiaofan, nothing is impossible. I was just wondering why so many castle lords encountered the attack of the Black Technology Kingdom. It turns out that Tang Xiaofan has a million-strong army. A million-scale army. This is too terrifying. My castle has only more than 800 troops. I have even fewer, only about 500. Unbelievable. Where did Tang Xiaofan get so many troops? How long will it take to recruit a million-strong army? Even if you give me a year, I may not be able to recruit so many troops. Is there any need to ask? Tang Xiaofan's million-strong army was definitely not recruited. Where did they come from? Local intelligent creatures? In the World Chat channel, countless castle lords and wanderers were shocked. They expressed disbelief and were scared to the point of numbing their scalps. After all, that was a million-strong army. Even among the entire castle forces, there were hundreds of castle lords, and there was no castle lord with 10,000 troops, not to mention Tang Xiaofan's Black Technology Heaven, which had a million-strong army, as soon as it went out to fight. This moment shocked everyone. It's very strange. There are no angels and elves in the Black Technology Heaven army attacking the Baliri Highlands, but countless steel demons, thousands of dragons and Tang Xiaofan's army of light. That's because Tang Xiaofan's angels and elves have come to attack the Karami Prairie. I saw at least thousands of angels. I saw it too. And me, the whole sky is full of steel demons. And angels with white wings. Horror. Shit. Back to the previous question. How many demons does Tang Xiaofan have? At this time, a top castle lord spoke. I contacted many castle lords who were attacked by the Black Technology Heaven and made a rough statistics. Tang Xiaofan mobilized an army of about 2 million this time, divided into two groups, attacking the Karami Prairie and the Baliri Highlands respectively. As for the number of Tang Xiaofan's demons, it should be more than 2 million, and more than 10,000 angels. 2 million demon armies, more than 10,000 angels. This is incredible. I find it hard to believe. This number is too terrifying. In the alliance I belong to, all the castle lords troops combined don't have this many. Is this the war strength of the Black Technology Kingdom? So terrifying. Is this news true or false? Most likely true. Tang Xiaofan must have subdued a lot of local intelligent creatures when he cleared the forest. And I suspect that some of the Alliance army that besieged the Black Technology Castle last time were also subdued by him. This explains why Tang Xiaofan has 2 million troops. Then what about Tang Xiaofan's steel demons and angels? 2 million steel demons and more than 10,000 angels. I'm going crazy. Then it's even simpler. Use the army quantity blueprint. Don't forget, brother Tang Xiaofan's initial army was demons. After destroying the million-strong army of those alliances, brother Tang Xiaofan must have obtained a large number of army quantity blueprints, and then recruited a terrifying number of demon troops. So that's how it is. I can only say that I envy brother Tang Xiaofan. The Black Technology Heaven is so strong now. It's all because of the alliances, including the Alliance of Gods. If they hadn't gathered millions of troops to besiege the Black Technology Castle and were wiped out, how could Tang Xiaofan become so powerful? If there hadn't been that war, maybe Tang Xiaofan wouldn't have established the Black Technology Heaven yet. Seeing such information, the members of the original Alliance of Gods, the Alliance of Gods, the Alliance of God Killers and other alliances all rolled their eyes. If they knew they would lose, they wouldn't have given Tang Xiaofan heads, experience, supplies, and a wave of soldiers. The key is how could they have thought that a million troops couldn't break through the Black Technology Castle? It can only be said that Tang Xiaofan's strength is too abnormal. Not only the castle lords in the World Chat channel, but also the top castle lords of various alliances were scared by the powerful Black Technology Heaven. 2 million steel demon armies, more than 10,000 angels. It's simply terrifying. Chapter 440, Fusion of the Attributeless Godhead begins to become a god. I just realized that Tang Xiaofan's Black Technology Heaven is so powerful. As the lord of a top castle, I only have more than 500 types of troops. Compared with Tang Xiaofan's 2 million troops, I'm nothing. This game is simply unplayable. Tang Xiaofan is too strong. At least hundreds of times stronger than us. If we don't destroy the Black Technology Heaven and eliminate Tang Xiaofan, we, the top castle lords, will never succeed. Once Tang Xiaofan's army captures the Karami Prairie and the Balili Highlands, his kingdom will only become more powerful, and we will have less hope. Don't worry, let Tang Xiaofan show off for a while. He will be gone soon. By the way, when will the God of Faith beast come? We really can't wait any longer. The people in Prairie Heaven are already in emergency contact. Most likely in these 2 days. That's not bad. Not to mention a delay of 10 days or half a month. Maybe even the true god level angels under Tang Xiaofan will appear. By then, maybe even the God of Faith beast will be killed. It won't take 2 days. Wait for good news. 2 days later, it will be Tang Xiaofan's death. In the palace of the Black Technology Kingdom of Heaven, a terrifying aura emerged from Tang Xiaofan. With the help of Stark, he successfully absorbed the original power in the fragment of the Godhead, and directly promoted to the limit of the peak of the demigod. He was only half a step away from becoming a god. Tang Xiaofan even had a feeling that with the support of the huge source of divine power, he could condense the Godhead and promote himself to a true god. However, Tang Xiaofan still suppressed the impulse in his heart because he knew that the natural godhead without attributes was the best. The reason is very simple. The godhead from the official game can accommodate all the laws of divine power and will not cause conflicts in the laws. The value of such a godhead can be said to exceed the main artifact, and this is also the fundamental reason why Tang Xiaofan suppressed the impulse to promote. Tang Xiaofan opened his eyes and felt his own rank. He did not hesitate and immediately took out the attributeless godhead that was still sealed. At the same time, he contacted the game official. "Okay, unseal it." The message prompt came at the right time. "The seal has been lifted." Suddenly, the godhead exuded a divine power, which was amazingly powerful. Stark next to him also changed his face slightly, but Tang Xiaofan didn't care and opened the message prompt. "Do you want to use the current godhead to merge with yourself?" Yes. No. Tang Xiaofan took a deep breath and chose yes. In an instant, the attributeless godhead turned into a golden light and drilled into his forehead. "I'm finally going to become a god," Tang Xiaofan said to himself, and then closed his eyes. In the entire castle force, no one knew that Tang Xiaofan was being promoted to the realm of a true god. With the help of Stark, he successfully absorbed the original divine power in the godhead fragment. With the help of the attributeless natural godhead rewarded by the game official, he directly ascended to the level of a god. It won't be long before he will become a god, immortal. Immortality is the first goal of hundreds of castle lords, followed by the hegemony of all races. If the castle lords knew that Tang Xiaofan was about to open the door to immortality, like the gods of faith in ancient times, eternal and immortal, they would probably be extremely jealous. At the same time, they would also find it unbelievable. After all, so far, there are not many castle lords and wanderers who have successfully promoted to level 21. There is not even a demigod, let alone a true god who surpasses demigods. Tang Xiaofan's promotion speed can almost be said to have surpassed them by hundreds of times. They can't even see Tang Xiaofan's back, even those castle lords who have top level troops. For the entire castle force, Tang Xiaofan is a visible but intangible mountain, pressing on the heads of hundreds of castle lords, and no one can shake its existence. No one can challenge his position as the strongest castle lord. It is precisely because of this that some top castle lords are eager for Tang Xiaofan to disappear, so that the black technology paradise is razed to ruins. Without Tang Xiaofan, they would be reborn and able to pursue a brighter future. In fact, these top castle lords are now very anxious, especially those top castle lords of the Grassland Paradise Alliance, who are impatient. The reason is simple. The millions of troops of the Black Technology Kingdom have come and are frantically clearing the wild monsters, local forces, and castle forces on the Calamy Prairie. Wherever the millions of troops pass, everything is reduced to ashes. Their Grassland Paradise was also affected. Some castle lords in the alliance encountered the attack of the Black Technology Kingdom army. Those who reacted faster took their troops and ran away with the heart of the castle. They didn't even care about the supplies in the castle and fled madly to the depths of the Calamy Prairie. Those who reacted slower did not have time to take away the heart of the castle, so they could only grit their teeth and take their troops with them, using the teleportation array to escape to the forces of other castle lords. In this way, although they saved their lives, they would lose their status as castle lords because their castle hearts were not taken away in time and were directly destroyed by the army of the Black Technology Kingdom, which forced them to change their jobs and become wanderers, and thus lost the qualification to participate in the 10,000 races tournament. In short, the Grassland Paradise Alliance suffered heavy losses, and even many castle lords withdrew from the alliance, not daring to confront the Black Technology Kingdom. This also caused the Grassland Paradise Alliance to be in a state of panic and chaos. Internal Alliance Information Group. Damn, my castle was destroyed, the soldiers were killed, the castle supplies were all looted, and even my castle heart was destroyed. It's the same for me. I worked hard for a month, but in an instant I became penniless, and even the identity of the castle lord was deprived. Tang Xiaofan's army is too brutal. The fast runners took the castle heart by chance. The slow runners even lost their lives. Alas. It was Tang Xiaofan who forced me to change my job to become a wanderer and lose the qualification to participate in the 10,000 races tournament. This hatred is irreconcilable. I swear that I will do my best in this life to destroy the Black Technology Kingdom and kill Tang Xiaofan. It's the same for me. Damn it, I will not be a human if I don't destroy the Black Technology Kingdom. Hateful. Inside the grassland paradise, many castle lords were roaring, venting their anger and hatred. Just because the millions of troops of the Black Technology Kingdom swept in, they lost everything. Although they didn't die, they also lost too many things, including the status of the castle lord. They were filled with hatred and vowed to destroy Tang Xiaofan's Black Technology paradise and take revenge. Although the Talami Prairie spans hundreds of thousands of kilometers and is incredibly large, you should know that the Prairie Paradise is the largest alliance in this area, bringing together hundreds of castle lords. Their castles are scattered in every corner of the Karami Prairie. Chapter 441. If nothing unexpected happens, the pig god will soon arrive. Naturally, some of the unlucky castle lords encountered the attack from the army of Tang Xiaofan's kingdom. And there were quite a few of them, hundreds of them. The million-strong army of the Black Technology Kingdom rushed into the Karami Prairie. In just a few hours, hundreds of castle forces were swept away. It is conceivable how terrible its offensiveness is. It is really like a crushing blow. No castle force can resist it, either escape or die. Of course, some castle lords, seeing the army of the Black Technology Kingdom coming, immediately raised their hands and surrendered, without any thought of resistance. As for the way to deal with these castle lords, Tang Xiaofan issued a war order to kill their troops, confiscate all the castle supplies, and leave them with only a bare castle, and accept them as affiliated forces of the Black Technology Kingdom. Even though Tang Xiaofan was so cruel, the castle lords were almost grateful. After all, they saved their lives and their identities as castle lords. For them, castles, soldiers, and castle supplies were nothing. As long as they were alive and their identities as castle lords were not deprived, they still had the opportunity to develop. What's more, they became a subsidiary force of the Black Technology Kingdom. In addition to having to hand over a certain number of soldiers and castle supplies to the Black Technology Kingdom on a regular basis, they had no other losses. Even after becoming a subsidiary force of the Black Technology Kingdom, they no longer had to worry about being attacked by other castle forces in the future. They could develop peacefully, and they only had to wait until a certain time limit to hand over some of the soldiers and castle supplies to the Black Technology Kingdom. They even felt that they were lucky compared to those castle lords whose castle hearts were destroyed. As time went by, more and more people withdrew from the Prairie Paradise Alliance. I'm sorry, brothers. I'm withdrawing too. There's no other way. The army of the Black Technology Kingdom has come to my castle. I can't stop it. I can only surrender and become a subsidiary force of the Black Technology Kingdom. I'm the same. I can't do anything. The million-strong army of the Black Technology Kingdom is unstoppable. I want to know, are there any requirements to become a subsidiary force of the Black Technology Kingdom? Requirements? There are no requirements. You only need to hand over 1/5 of the recruited troops to the Black Technology Kingdom every day, and 1/3 of the harvested resources. 1/5 of the recruited troops and 1/3 of the harvested materials. This is too dark. It's really dark. If it were me, I would never agree. Don't think too much. The army of the Black Technology Kingdom will not force you to agree. It can even be said that, if you surrender slowly, the castle will be directly destroyed. As soon as these words came out, the castle lords inside the Prairie Paradise felt their hair stand on end. The strength of the Black Technology Kingdom was far beyond their imagination. It really fulfilled that saying, if you don't surrender, you will die. At this time, some castle lords were kicked out of the alliance. They all surrendered to the castle forces of the Black Technology Heaven. They were kicked out by the high-level officials of the Grassland Paradise to prevent them from becoming spies and passing information to the army of the Black Technology Heaven. After cleaning up these castle lords, a high-level official of the alliance finally spoke up. Laolin, when will the Beast God of Faith come? It won't take too long, at most one day. The 14 armies of the Black Technology Heaven can kill the castle forces of our alliance to collapse. The million-strong army of the Black Technology Heaven is simply crazy. According to what they learned, the million-strong army is divided into 14 legions. Each legion is led by a demon legion, 21st level strongman, 20 level strongman. It's incredible. Some of the legions even have demigod level strongmen. These 14 armies are like 14 torrents, invading from the east of the Karami Prairie. Wherever they pass, no castle fort can resist. It really won't take long before the Alliance camp of the Prairie Paradise will collapse. Many castle lords who see no hope will withdraw from the Alliance and then escape from the Karami Prairie with a castle heart. They must speed up. The sooner they invite the beast god, the better. And the old Len mentioned by the Alliance leaders is the top castle lord who is lucky enough to contact the beast god. Don't worry, I'm urging you, said Leolin. No hurry. Now the hundreds of members in the Alliance are as anxious as ants on a hot pot, afraid of being attacked by the army of the Black Technology Kingdom. I have no choice, Leolin explained. Old Pig God told me before that the negotiations in the outer world have not yet ended. The gods of the faith system have all been blocked in the outer world by the truth system and cannot enter the god and demon continent at all. Oh no. It's been 2 or 3 days and the negotiations haven't ended yet? No, the two systems are still fighting, and even small-scale wars of gods will break out from time to time in the outer world, causing the stars to collapse and the sun and moon to lose their light. What are you talking about? I just want to know when the boss pig god will come. Pig god is the nickname given to the beast god by the top leaders of the Grassland Paradise Alliance, because he was the beast god of the pig people and he himself is also a pig. Pig, to be more direct, is a half pig man. Just like a werewolf or a dog-headed man, with a human body and a pig head. At this time, Leolin sent a message. Here we are. What's coming? Boss Pig God contacted me on his own initiative. Don't worry, I'll ask him. Oh no. The old Pig God finally sent a message. Suddenly, the members of the Grassland Paradise Alliance were overjoyed, and some castle lords who were ready to surrender to the Black Technology Kingdom also immediately put away their thoughts. Compared to becoming a subsidiary force of the Black Technology Kingdom and handing in arms and castle supplies every day, they would rather become free castle lords and fight for hegemony among all races. Everyone stay calm and wait for Leolin's news to see what Leolin says. Expectation is good news. Waiting is a process that makes time very long. For the members of the Grassland Paradise Alliance, this wait is very tormenting. I don't know how long it took, but Leolin finally came online and sent a message. Brothers, our big god guardian is coming soon. Fuck, is this true? Of course it's true. In half an hour at most, he will show up at the Karami Prairie to meet me. By then, I will give him the fragment of the godhead and ask him to destroy the Black Technology Kingdom. Great. Leolin, have the negotiations with the gods in the outer world ended? It should be. Leolin replied, if nothing unexpected happens, the god system of truth will choose to give in and let the gods who believe in divinity return to the continent of gods and demons. As for why the god system of truth gave in and what price the gods of faith paid, I don't know either. Chapter 442, Big God Boss is really strong. It doesn't matter if I don't know, as long as the old Big God comes. It's not easy. After so many days of suffering, the Pig God Boss is finally coming. The Pig God Boss is mighty. This time it depends on how Tang Xiaofan dies. As long as Tang Xiaofan dies, the Black Technology Heaven Kingdom will be destroyed, and with the help of the Pig God Boss, our alliance can definitely wipe out the million-strong army on the grassland. We don't need to take action. The Pig God Boss can handle it alone. After all, he is a god. A true god at the peak of the lower level can destroy the million-strong army of the Black Technology Heaven Kingdom with a slap. We just need to follow the Pig God Boss and take advantage of it. This is the best news I have heard in a while. The alliance members of the Grassland Paradise are extremely excited. Nothing can make them happier than the arrival of the Pig God Boss. The other alliances that received this news were also boiling. Every top castle lord secretly breathed a sigh of relief, especially those top castle lords who hope to see the destruction of the Black Technology Heaven Kingdom. All of them were overjoyed. But at this moment, something unexpected happened. On the World Chat channel, a new world bulletin suddenly appeared, which instantly frightened all the top castle lords and members of the Grassland Alliance, and made their hearts turn cold. At the same time, the appearance of the world bulletin also directly shocked the entire castle force, leaving hundreds of castle lords and wanderers dumbfounded. World announcement: congratulations to Tang Xiaofan, the Lord of the Black Technology Kingdom of Heaven, for being the first to be promoted to the first god in the castle force, mastering the power of immortality, and becoming an eternal and immortal god. Congratulations to Tang Xiaofan, the Lord of the Black Technology Kingdom of Heaven, for opening the era of gods for the castle forces. Celebrate together. It is a cause for celebration, as the first castle lord promoted to a god. Tang Xiaofan is specially rewarded with a random divine power law. I hope that the majority of castle lords can take Tang Xiaofan, the Lord of the Black Technology Kingdom of Heaven, as their goal, and become gods and immortal, as soon as possible. The god war is about to come. I also hope that the castle forces will prepare early. In an instant, the World Chat channel was boiling. Countless castle lords and wanderers gathered here, sending messages frantically. Too crazy. Brother Tang Xiaofan actually became a god directly? The first god and demon in the castle, immortal. Damn, I'm so jealous. Why is it not me who became a god? Boo-hoo. I can't figure it out. How could Brother Tang Xiaofan suddenly become a god? It's so unexpected, just like the blood moon suddenly exploded, which makes people feel incredible. Brother upstairs, the blood moon hasn't exploded yet. By the way, didn't Brother Tang Xiaofan just get promoted to a demigod a few days ago? How come he became a god all of a sudden? It's only been a few days. Who knows? I only know one thing: as long as it happens to Brother Tang Xiaofan, nothing is impossible. The immortal god, Brother Tang Xiaofan, is so terrifying. I also want to become a god. I'm only in the late stage of level 20 now. I don't know when I will have to wait to become a god. I envy Brother Tang Xiaofan. Did Tang Xiaofan become a god by using only that godhead? Didn't the game officials say that the godhead would be sealed for a month? It seems like there are still more than 20 days before the seal is lifted. Sorry, I just consulted the game officials, and they gave Tang Xiaofan the green light. I asked too, and the game officials claimed that after Tang Xiaofan was promoted to the peak of demigod, the seal of the godhead would be automatically lifted, and he could choose to use it directly. Wow, they gave the green light so openly? Sure enough, my speculation was correct at the beginning. Tang Xiaofan is the illegitimate son of the game officials. Only Tang Xiaofan can have such a good thing, and it will never fall on our heads. That requires you to be promoted to the peak of demigod. Yes, with Tang Xiaofan's promotion speed, even without that godhead, he will be able to become a god in no time. The unsealing of the godhead only makes Tang Xiaofan's time of becoming a god a little earlier. Tang Xiaofan is invincible. After becoming a god, Tang Xiaofan will be immortal. That's not necessarily true. Even if Tang Xiaofan becomes a god, he is only at the early stage of the lower god. You should know that the beast god that the Grassland Paradise Alliance hooked up with is at the peak of the lower god. It's very easy for a lower god at the peak to kill an early stage lower god. There are a few small realms difference. Even if Tang Xiaofan becomes a god, he is not the opponent of the beast god. In other words, even if Tang Xiaofan becomes a god, he can't protect the black technology heaven. Definitely. In an instant, many castle lords and wanderers changed their mindsets. They were still shocked by Tang Xiaofan's godhood and shouted loudly, but in the blink of an eye, they began to mourn for Tang Xiaofan. Including the various alliances, including the Grassland Paradise, the top castle lords in them quickly calmed down after a moment of panic. Don't worry, even if Tang Xiaofan has become a god, it won't change anything. With the power of the lower level true god, it's easy to suppress Tang Xiaofan, who has just been promoted to a god. Maybe by killing Tang Xiaofan, he can expose his newly condensed godhood. Tang Xiaofan's becoming a god is just to make wedding clothes for others. It's a pity that with the old pig god here, we can't get Tang Xiaofan's godhood. What's the godhood? As long as Tang Xiaofan is killed, and the black technology heaven is destroyed, it will be the best news for us. That's right, Leo Zal, Leokin, I'll discuss with the pig god. He allows me to take a few people to the battlefield to see how he destroys the black technology heaven. Do you want to go? Go, of course. Several high-level officials of the grassland paradise agreed immediately. The destruction of the kingdom heart of the black technology heaven will definitely reveal a large number of blueprints and a large amount of supplies. They are first come first served, so how can they not go? As for whether the pig god boss can destroy the black technology heaven and kill Tang Xiaofan, they have no doubt about it. If the pig god attacks, Tang Xiaofan will die. Even the Sky City cannot save Tang Xiaofan, because they do not believe that a mere war fortress can kill a lower level peak true god. After all, even if the power is enough, the old pig god will not stand still and be bombarded by the Sky City. We must go. Soon, the top leaders of the entire Grassland Paradise Alliance gathered in Leolin's castle with the help of the teleportation array. After an unknown amount of time, finally, a huge figure appeared out of thin air, carrying a terrifying divine power. The figure was several meters tall, with a pig head and a human body, wearing a black robe. Although gods can easily change their appearance after becoming gods, it is obvious that the old pig god prefers his original body. You are the ones who summoned me? The old pig god swept his indifferent eyes across, and several high-level leaders of the Grassland Paradise Alliance present were so scared that they lowered their heads and dared not look directly into the eyes of the gods. But their mood was extremely excited. The pig god boss was really strong. Chapter 443, the pig god must fulfill the agreed agreement. In the castle, the beast god Bork was several meters tall, with a human body and a pig head. It can be said that his face was hideous, at least in the eyes of several high-level people in the Grassland Paradise. His face was quite hideous. From the outside, the beast god Bork did not look like the god of the beast tribe in the chaotic neutral camp, but more like an evil god in the dark and evil camp. The beast god Bork looked down at them with an indifferent expression. An ancient breath and powerful divine power from the ancient times rushed in their faces, making several top castle masters feel under great pressure and panic in their hearts. Not bad. The beast god Bork said expressionlessly. It was really good to be able to withstand his divine power and not kneel on the ground. If it were the native intelligent creatures of the god and demon continent, let alone a few level 21 professionals, even demigods would have been unable to withstand his divine power and kneel in front of him. These castle masters from other worlds are quite capable, the beast god Bork said to himself secretly. Like the local forces of the gods and demons continent, the gods of their faith system also know the existence and origin of the castle lord. However, due to some terrible restrictions, even though they know the purpose of the castle forces coming to the gods and demons continent, the truth god system and the local empires in the central area have not taken action against the castle forces. It is said that the restrictions will only disappear when the castle forces invade the central area. At that time, the gods of the local empires and the truth god system will personally take action to clean up the castle lords around the world with a crushing force. Before the terrible restrictions disappear, the local empires and the truth god system can only ignore the existence of the castle forces, but their faith system is not included. Because when the restrictions appeared, their faith system had not returned to the gods and demons continent. Now that they have just returned, the faith system is naturally not restricted by the terrible power. This is why he dared to lay a black hand on a castle lord. A fragment of the godhead is enough for him to do a little favor. It's nothing more than killing a small castle lord. For him who has the peak position of the lower true god, what's the difficulty? Respected Lord Beast God. A young man with a red face said respectfully, there is something I may need to tell you. He was the old Lin. The beast god Bork looked down at him. Speak. Old Lin was under a lot of pressure, but he still gritted his teeth and said, there was a little accident. Tang Xiaofan, who I asked you to kill, has just been promoted to the realm of true god. God. Beast god Bork frowned slightly, and then looked at Old Lin and several other high-level people in the Grassland Paradise, and said, you are all castle masters, why did they become gods, while you are so weak? One by one, you just entered the 21st level, not even a demigod. Hearing this, Old Lin and several high-level people in the Grassland Paradise had distorted faces. The complaints from the ancient belief in the beast god left them speechless. Tang Xiaofan developed so fast, what could they do? It should be known that the millions of troops composed of alliances as powerful as the Alliance of Gods, the Alliance of Killing Gods, and the Alliance of Red Gods were all wiped out by Tang Xiaofan. Now, those alliances have all been disbanded, including the Alliance of Gods, which was known as the strongest alliance. It was also renamed the Dawn Alliance. Only a few top castle lords remained in the alliance. From the beginning of his advent to now, Tang Xiaofan, who possessed the only weapon type, the demon, had been stepping on the heads of these top castle lords, and they have not been able to turn over until now. How can they compete with Tang Xiaofan? The beast god Bork said, "It seems that you top castle lords are useless." Young Leolin couldn't help but say, among the entire castle forces, only Tang Xiaofan is an outlier. As long as he and his kingdom forces are eliminated, our top castle lords can immediately turn over. Whether you turn over or not doesn't matter to me. The beast god Bork glanced at him, and the young Leolin understood what the old pig god meant in a second. He quickly took out the fragment of the godhead and said, "My lord god, this is your reward." He was not worried that the beast god Bork would go back on his word, because the two parties signed an agreement recognized by the game officials. If the old pig god took the things and didn't do anything, he would be immediately wiped out by the game officials for violating the agreement. The castle lords have always trusted the power of the game officials. However, the situation has changed now, because Tang Xiaofan was only a demigod, but now he has become a true god. He was worried that the old pig god would not help, which was allowed by the game officials. Young Leolin looked at the beast god Bork nervously. Only if the old pig god accepted his reward, the agreement would be established. Once the agreement is fulfilled, the old pig god must do his best to kill Tang Xiaofan and destroy the black technology heaven. Ha! The beast god Bork snorted coldly, but did not immediately take over the fragment of the godhead. Instead, he said, "In addition to the artifact that was agreed upon before, Tang Xiaofan's godhead also belongs to me. Everything is as you say." Young Leolin and others naturally did not dare to have any opinions. They had already guessed that this pig god who survived the ancient god war era would not give Tang Xiaofan's godhead to them. After killing Tang Xiaofan, the old pig god even wanted a fragment of the godhead, let alone a complete godhead. As for the artifact mentioned by the beast god Bork, it was the king's artifact awarded to Tang Xiaofan by the game official after Tang Xiaofan established the black technology heaven. It was used by the young old Lin as a bargaining chip to ask the beast god Bork to take action. It was also under the temptation of the fragment of the godhead and the king's artifact that the beast god Bork could not wait to descend on the Karami grassland. This point was very clear to Leolin and several high-level members of the Grassland Paradise Alliance present. They didn't want Tang Xiaofan's godhood. They also didn't want Tang Xiaofan's king artifact. They just wanted Tang Xiaofan to be eliminated and the black technology heaven to be destroyed. In this way, the top castle lords would be able to raise their heads and participate in the 10,000 races competition. Of course, they also needed Tang Xiaofan's kingdom supplies. Tang Xiaofan had previously put millions of pieces of equipment and a large number of advanced blueprints and advanced equipment on the trading channel. He must have harvested a large amount of supplies, plus the black technology heaven's reserve supplies, which were enough to make them a lot of money. With these supplies, they could upgrade the castle and military buildings to a very high level. What godhood and artifacts did they still need to covet? The beast god Bork seemed to be able to see through their thoughts and said nonchalantly, "Things from the mortal world are useless to me. The rest of the supplies belong to you." "Great. Thank you, Lord God." Several people smiled happily. Then, the beast god Bork took the fragment of the godhead and swallowed it into his stomach. Leolin was surprised and said, "The fragment of the godhead can be eaten directly, don't they need to be refined?" He learned from the game officials that the fragment of the godhead needs to be refined into the purest source of divine power before it can be absorbed. But the beast god Bork ate the fragment of the godhead directly, which surprised him. Chapter 444. The power of faith is terrifying. Beast god Bork glanced at him. "You are only level 21, but you know a lot." Old Lin laughed dryly. Beast God Bork retracted his gaze and said expressionlessly, "The fragments of the godhead naturally need to be refined, and my stomach is the place for refining." Old Lin suddenly realized. A high-level official of Grassland Paradise asked, "My Lord God, I wonder what the specific situation is of the negotiation between your faith god system and the truth god system? Really? Did the truth god system let your faith god system return so easily? I thought there would be a large-scale war of gods." Several people spoke up one after another. They were very interested in the negotiations among the gods in the world outside the domain. Hearing this, Beast God Bork looked at them coldly. "How can you, the little castle lords, spy on the content of the negotiations among the gods?" Everyone was speechless, and they said they dared not to. Beast God Bork snorted coldly and said, "We believe in the pantheon so much that we have an agreement within it that we are not allowed to attack the lord of your castle. Now, I have accepted your benefits, and I have already broken the agreement. So don't ask too many questions, lest..." Beast God Bork did not continue to speak, but his murderous eyes still let the people present understand what he meant. Asking too much will cost lives. Thinking of this, several people did not dare to ask around anymore. Then, Beast God Bork waved his right hand and took a few people to the sky. At an extremely terrifying speed, he flew towards the east of the Karami Prairie. The Black Technology Heaven is located in the east of the prairie. Black Technology Heaven, the Palace Hall. Tang Xiaofan did not know that Beast God Bork was coming with several high-level people from the Prairie Heaven Alliance, but even if he knew, he would not care too much. It's just a lower-level peak true god. What's it? Dare to come. That's a dead end. Tang Xiaofan didn't even need to use the Sky City. With Stark alone, he was enough to suppress the Holy God Bork, the strongest attack method of the Sky City. It was prepared for more powerful gods. Beast God Bork, he is not worthy of it. At this time, Tang Xiaofan was sensing the godhood in his body. The natural godhood without attributes from the game official has been perfectly integrated with his body, and then his demigod body has been directly strengthened to the level of the true god body. With his current true god body, he is enough to ignore the attacks of the demigod level. Powerful semi-divine artifacts can't break his defense. This is the true god. Once you become a god, it is equivalent to ascending to heaven. No longer immortal. At the same time, his mind moved. In an instant, all the faith power in the kingdom gathered and merged into his body and quickly transformed into his own divine power. These faith powers all came from his believers, so he can easily collect and transform them. If it were other gods, even if they stole his faith power, it would be difficult to transform it into divine power. At this moment, the huge faith power poured back like a sea, filling every corner of Tang Xiaofan's body. As time passed, the power of faith condensed in his body became more and more. It was not until he condensed more than 100 drops of power that all the power of faith in the kingdom was exhausted. If other gods of faith saw this scene, they would be very surprised, because Tang Xiaofan's kingdom had only more than 6 million believers. Under normal circumstances, the power of faith provided by this number of believers could only condense a dozen drops of power at most, or even less. However, the power of faith condensed by Tang Xiaofan reached more than 170 points, which was terrifying. The reason was that the faith level of Tang Xiaofan's believers was very high. Among the more than 6 million believers, none of them were ordinary believers or true believers. At the very least, they were devout believers, and there were also a large number of fanatical believers. In addition, Tang Xiaofan also had 14,000 angels, all of whom were believers of the highest level of the Holy Spirit. Naturally, the power of faith, provided by the believers of the kingdom, to Tang Xiaofan was terrifying. It was comparable to the power of faith collected by some gods from hundreds of millions of believers. Tang Xiaofan stopped and checked his personal information. Lord of the castle, Tang Xiaofan. Identity, Lord of the Black Technology Heavenly Kingdom. Rank, Early Lower True God. Divine Power Strength 10 Divine Power. Possess Divine Power. 178 points. Mastering the Law. Space Law. Equipment. King's Scepter, King's Sword. Blessing of Natural Elves. Holy Light Ring. Sky City. Soulstone. More than 630,000 pieces. Divine Power Crystal. 55 pieces. Divine Power Strength. 10 divine power. In other words, if I don't use the King Scepter, I can burst out 10 points of divine power at most with my own divine position. This is the strongest power of the early lower true god, and if I use the King Scepter, my divine power strength will directly reach 100 drops of divine power, comparable to the peak of the lower true god. Tang Xiaofan looked at the King Scepter in his hand. This growing artifact is really strong enough. Of course, if it is upgraded to a mid-level artifact, its power will be even more terrifying. It is powerful and consumes a lot of energy. To release the strongest power, one must consume 100 drops of divine power at a time, and I only have 178 drops of divine power now, which means that after the strongest burst, I will be exhausted directly and cannot come a second time. TSK now that he has become a god, Tang Xiaofan feels very poor again. Then Tang Xiaofan took another look at the laws in his personal information. The space law that appeared in it was not something he had comprehended by himself, but a law awarded directly from the game official for his promotion to the first true god in the castle force. I randomly got the space law. It seems that my luck is not bad. The space law is rarer and more powerful than the conventional types of laws such as the flame law, the frost law, the light law, the corrosion law, etc. While speaking, Tang Xiaofan showed his right hand and moved his mind lightly. The space in front of him suddenly collapsed and then turned into a translucent ball of light, suspended in the palm of his right hand. The light ball is condensed by the power of the space law. It contains an independent space, and the space inside is not restricted by the laws of the world of the gods and demons. This is equivalent to a space cage that can trap any life form. As long as it is a creature weaker than me, it cannot escape the independent space I created. If my strength is strong enough, even a true god can be imprisoned. This is the law of space. Stark, who was standing aside, said after seeing the space light ball in Tang Xiaofan's hand, if the Lord can master the law of time, then time and space can be integrated to form a more powerful law of space and time. In the future, you will create another space and time. Chapter 445 Emergency. The beast god arrives and pounces. Stark said respectfully, I believe your power will soon be able to recover to the level of the Supreme God King. In the hearts of the farmers, Tang Xiaofan is the supreme creator, the god of creation. Weak strength is only temporary. It won't take long for Tang Xiaofan to recover to his peak, master the authority of the supreme god, and reshape the farmer's world. In response to Stark's words, Tang Xiaofan just smiled faintly. Whether he can become the Supreme God King depends on whether he can grab the throne of the God King in the future God War. If he can grab it, it's easy to say. If not, then he can only find another way to be promoted to the God King. Stark is right. I'm now short of the law of time. When space and time are integrated, I can be promoted to the law of space and time. Tang Xiaofan muttered to himself, generally speaking, gods do not master many laws, and generally only have one. For example, the gods of the flame god system master the flame law, and the gods of the dark god system master the dark law. Different laws appearing in the same godhead will directly cause conflicts of laws. In serious cases, it can even destroy the godhead, and cause the gods to fall instantly. Only a very small number of gods can fuse different laws and divine powers together to evolve into more powerful laws, such as the god of time and space, the god of storms, etc. However, such gods are very rare. The gods generally only master the power of one law, but Tang Xiaofan is different. His godhead is a natural godhead without attributes. As early as when he just obtained this godhead, Tang Xiaofan had learned from its information description that it could perfectly fuse all the laws and divine powers, and there would be no problem of conflict of laws. In other words, it is not impossible for him to become the god of time and space who masters the laws of time and space. Even the more laws he integrates into his godhead, the more likely he is to become the god of all laws, master all the laws and divine power in the world, and overwhelm thousands of planes. At that time, perhaps the God King will not be a big deal in his eyes. Therefore, the attributeless natural godhead in his body is very precious. Even if he is only a godhead of the lower true god level now, his value exceeds the main artifact. At this time, Tang Xiaofan received a friend message from Betty Yi. He opened it and was stunned. Betty Yi, Tang Xiaofan, emergency. The negotiations between the faith god system and the truth god system have ended, and the faith gods have all returned to the god and demon continent. The faith beast god that the grassland paradise hooked up with has also arrived. If nothing unexpected happens, he is now rushing to the capital to harm you. It seems that he has brought several high-level people from the grassland paradise with him. You have to be careful. So fast? Tang Xiaofan was not worried about the faith beast god. He just didn't expect the negotiations between the faith god system and the truth god system to end so quickly. What surprised him the most was that the god war did not break out on a large scale. Moreover, the god system of truth seemed to have made a concession, allowing the gods of the god system of faith to return to the god and demon continent. This was quite incredible. If he were the boss of the god system of truth, he would definitely not let the god system of faith return, because their return was equivalent to competing with the god system of truth for living space. This could also be compromised. Something must have happened during the negotiation, causing the gods of the god system of truth to no longer insist and be forced to give in. As for what happened, Tang Xiaofan did not participate in the negotiations among the gods and was still unaware. He could not figure it out and did not think about it anymore and replied to Bear Grylls, received. After that, he waited quietly for the arrival of the god of faith beast. After an unknown period of time, Stark, who was standing aside, suddenly said, "My lord, I feel a breath of alien gods approaching rapidly. Let's go." Tang Xiaofan suddenly stood up from the throne, and then the figures of the two disappeared out of thin air. When they reappeared, they had already arrived on the wall of the outer city. Looking up, several figures appeared in the distant sky. They were as fast as lightning, and arrived in an instant. The leader was the beast god Bork, Lord Beast God, that is Tang Xiaofan's capital. Several high-level officials of the Grassland Paradise Alliance were very excited. Really? Beast God Bork looked over with a look full of contempt, and soon he saw the extremely glorious capital of the Black Technology Heaven. He also saw Tang Xiaofan and Stark standing on the city wall. At that moment, his eyes widened, as if he couldn't believe it. Finally, he took a deep breath, turned around and ran without hesitation. Inside the Grassland Paradise, many castle lords were discussing it. Everyone was looking forward to good news. Boskin said that they saw the old pig god in Leolin's castle. He was several meters tall, with a human body and a pig head, and his divine power was unbelievable. As expected of the boss of all gods, his divine power is vast. It's not easy. After waiting for such a long time, the boss of Pig God finally arrived. At present, they have set off for the Black Technology Heaven. With the help of Boss Pig God, the Black Technology Heaven will surely be razed to ruins. After all, Boss Pig God is a true god at the peak of the lower realm. Even if Tang Xiaofan was promoted to a god, he is only at the early stage of the lower true god. Compared with Boss Pig God, he is several realms behind. Tang Xiaofan is dead this time. Not to mention the devil, even the gods can't save him. By the way, doesn't Tang Xiaofan have the Sky City? I wonder if Boss Pig God can withstand the bombardment of the Sky City? The Sky City is useless. Even if the Sky City can kill the true god, will the true god stand there and wait to be bombarded? With the power of the true god, tearing open the void and teleporting is just a piece of cake. The old pig god can avoid the attack of the Sky City with a teleport. Indeed, as the war fortress of the Farmer clan, the Sky City can still be of some use on a large-scale battlefield, but it is very difficult to kill a single true god. For the true god, Tang Xiaofan's Sky City is completely a decoration. Then I feel relieved. Haha, you are just worrying about nothing. Don't think too much. This time, the pig god boss will take action personally. With the position of the true god, he will definitely sweep the entire Black Technology Kingdom. There will never be a second result. That's right. Now I'm just waiting for Boskin and the others to bring back good news. I envy those bosses. Once Tang Xiaofan dies, the Black Technology Kingdom will be destroyed. Such a large kingdom, all the blueprints, and massive supplies all belong to those bosses. We can't even drink the soup. The greater the effort, the greater the reward. Old Lin has lost a fragment of the divine power. For us, as long as Tang Xiaofan dies, we will be thankful that the Karami Prairie is not invaded by the army of the Black Technology Heaven. I agree. The members of the Prairie Heaven Alliance are full of confidence. They don't believe that a beast god of faith from the ancient times will fail in his personal actions. In their opinion, the fate of Tang Xiaofan and the Black Technology Heaven is already determined. Unless a god comes to help Tang Xiaofan. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 446. Nothing will happen to the Black Technology Castle, right? At the same time, the news that Beast God Bork led several high-level members of the Prairie Paradise Alliance to attack the Black Technology Heaven was also passed on to the World Chat Channel and other alliances by the alliance members of the Prairie Paradise. In an instant, the World Chat Channel and major alliances were all boiling. For them, this was equivalent to an unprecedented war between gods. Even if Tang Xiaofan had just become a god, he was still a true god. Isn't the battle between gods a war between gods? Is the future of boss Tang Xiaofan going to end from now on? The beast god of faith in ancient times has come. Even if Tang Xiaofan claims to be the strongest castle lord of our castle force, he can't resist it. It can put an end to Tang Xiaofan's life. What a pity. Boss Tang Xiaofan has just become a god and possesses eternal life, as immortal as the heaven and the earth. As a result, in the blink of an eye, he is facing a crisis of certain death. It's all because Tang Xiaofan is too aggressive. He is too strong. Since the castle force descended on the continent of gods and demons, boss Tang Xiaofan has suppressed all the castle lords. Even those arrogant top castle lords have not been able to turn over. Naturally, many people will hate Tang Xiaofan extremely. It's normal for Tang Xiaofan, who has made countless enemies, to capsize accidentally. What a pity. If boss Tang Xiaofan doesn't die, there is a great probability that he will be able to obtain the throne of the God King and hold the power of the high gods in the future. It's meaningless to say all this. Tang Xiaofan must die. The World Chat Channel was full of discussions, and all of them were similar. They believed that Tang Xiaofan would not be able to stop the beast god Bork. Not only would he perish, but the Black Technology Heaven would also be reduced to ruins by the beast god Bork. The major alliances were also celebrating, such as the Sea Kingdom, the Ice and Snow Alliance, the Dawn Alliance, etc. The top castle lords who ruled these alliances were eager to see Tang Xiaofan fall under the power of the beast god Bork. As long as Tang Xiaofan died, the castle lords with top level troops would be able to turn over immediately and no longer be pressed by the mountain of Tang Xiaofan. They knew that with their current strength, it was impossible to pose any threat to Tang Xiaofan. Even if they gathered 100 million troops again, it would be difficult to capture the Black Technology Heaven. They could not deal with Tang Xiaofan and could only rely on external forces. The appearance of the beast god Bork gave them hope. Naturally, the top castle lords of the major alliances were all looking forward to the arrival of good news. Among all the alliances, perhaps only the Holy Light Alliance and the Goddess House have different attitudes. They don't want to see the Black Technology Heaven destroyed, and they don't want Tang Xiaofan to die at the hands of the beast god Bork. The reason is simple. The members of the Holy Light Alliance are all Bear Grylls, carefully selected castle masters, and supporters of Tang Xiaofan. Each of them hopes to become a subsidiary force of the Black Technology Heaven. On this basis, how could they hope that Tang Xiaofan would fall? As for the girls in the Goddess House, most of them are Tang Xiaofan's fans, so naturally they don't want to hear bad news. Sister Kimeng, is there really nothing wrong with Master Tang Xiaofan? I don't know. Oh, I hope that Master Tang Xiaofan is okay, and even kills the beast god of faith in desperation. I also hope that this will happen, but it is obviously unlikely. After all, he is a beast god of faith who survived the ancient war of gods. His status is as high as the peak of the lower true god, and Tang Xiaofan has just been promoted to the realm of true god. By the way, where is Bear? What's wrong? Bear, aren't you a good friend of Master Tang Xiaofan? Can you ask about the situation in the Black Technology Kingdom? We are all very worried about the safety of Master Tang Xiaofan. Don't worry, there is only one result of this war of gods, and that is the death of the beast god of faith. Is this true? Bear, do you have any gossip? Don't ask too much, just wait for the news. Bear, what are you doing now? I'm following the kingdom's army under Tang Xiaofan's command, and are clearing out the enemies on the Karami grassland. I'm very busy. Bear growls, don't tell me that you have joined the Black Technology Heaven and met the great god Tang Xiaofan with your own eyes. Yes. Wow. Bear growls, you are not a sisterly person. You actually hid such a big thing from us. Tell us the truth quickly. Is the great god Tang Xiaofan handsome? Bear growls will get fat like a pig if he eats alone. Tell me quickly. Well, he is very handsome. To be honest, I was stunned for 5 seconds when I saw Tang Xiaofan for the first time. Oh my god, our Bear growls actually lost his mind. I have decided that my goal in this life, besides becoming a god, is to conquer the great god Tang Xiaofan. TSK, leave this arduous task to me. You are too young bad Tang. The topic changed instantly. The girls in the goddess house no longer discussed the safety of Tang Xiaofan and the Black Technology Heaven. Instead, they were discussing how to conquer the boy Tang Xiaofan. A handsome man plus a god equals a male god. In their eyes, people like Tang Xiaofan are the real male gods. Compared with the lively world chat channels and major alliances, the Black Technology Kingdom is very calm. Seeing that they are getting closer and closer to the capital of the Black Technology Kingdom, Leolin and several high-level members of the Grassland Paradise Alliance are excited. They can't suppress their excitement. That's the capital of the Black Technology Kingdom. The highest level castle among the castle forces has reached the level of a high-level capital. Only one step away, this capital can be upgraded to an imperial capital. As rumored, the capital of the Black Technology Kingdom is thousands of kilometers in diameter and has a god-level wall of more than 2,000 meters. Seeing it now is really shocking. Such a castle cannot be broken even by a billion troops. Tang Xiaofan must have consumed a huge amount of resources to build such a capital. It's a pity that it will become a ruin today. Several people talk to each other excitedly, but at this moment, something happened that made them confused. When they looked up, the beast god book had disappeared. The person is gone. Where is the old pig god? He probably couldn't wait and rushed into Tang Xiaofan's kingdom. Wait, is that person standing on the city wall in the distance Tang Xiaofan? A human youth with a demon insta llama standing next to him. If nothing unexpected happens, he must be Tang Xiaofan. Since Tang Xiaofan is there, where is the old pig god? Fuck. A senior executive looked back and suddenly screamed, damn it, that pig didn't attack Tang Xiaofan's kingdom at all, but just ran away. Hearing this, the others also hurriedly looked back and could only see a black dot disappearing into the distant sky and earth at a terrifying speed. Chapter 447 The Beast God encountered an irresistible force. That black spot exuded a powerful divine power. Who else could it be but the Beast God Bork? He actually escaped. What the hell? What the hell? Leolin immediately shouted, Lord Pig God, Tang Xiaofan is here. You are running in the wrong direction. Get lost. The voice of the beast god Bork came from afar. The agreement is void. I will return the fragments of the godhead to you later. The ruler of the Black Technology Heaven. This matter has nothing to do with me. The 5 high-level officials of the Grassland Paradise Alliance, including Leolin, were dumbfounded. The agreement is void? The beast god Bork voided the agreement lightly. Isn't he afraid of being wiped out by the game officials? Unless, encounter force majeure. This condition was added to the agreement by the beast god Bork. He was worried that when attacking the Black Technology Heaven, he would encounter a being more powerful than him and slap him to death with a slap, so he left himself a ray of hope. This is a very smart pig. At this time, several people also reacted instantly. It was obvious that there was a powerful and terrifying existence in the Black Technology Heaven, which scared away the beast god Balk, so that he didn't even dare to get close, and ran away directly. But the problem is, beast god Balk ran away. What should they do? They haven't got on the car yet. No, they are still where they are. Several people's faces turned pale, and without saying a word, they also flew back to the way they came. As a 20-level strongman, they can naturally fly, but their speed is far inferior to that of Beast God Balk, who is at the peak of the lower true god. Laolin shouted in fear, "Boss Pig God, even if you want to escape, take us with you." Laolin, stop shouting, that pig is not loyal, the most important thing is we run away. Several people ran away quickly. Not only did we fail to kill Tang Xiaofan and destroy the Black Technology Kingdom, but we were forced to flee for our lives. It's a huge loss. What's in the Black Technology Kingdom? It was so scary that it scared the pig away. I guess it's probably the steel demon standing next to Tang Xiaofan, because the color of his armor is unique, and his strength must be many times stronger than that of the beast god Bork. Isn't that a middle level god? Of course, otherwise the pig would have been so scared that he ran away. Oh my god. Tang Xiaofan even has middle level god level demons under his command. It's incredible. I just hope Tang Xiaofan doesn't take us seriously. As they flew, several people looked at the high-tech heavenly city wall behind them. Tang Xiaofan was still standing on the city wall, but the demon beside him disappeared. Instantly, several people's hearts jumped, and they had a bad premonition. At this moment, in the direction of their escape, a terrifying divine power fluctuation suddenly came, shaking the clouds tens of thousands of meters high, and dazzling light bloomed in the distant sky. When the balls of light fell to the ground, in an instant, the earth trembled, and mushroom clouds that were so big that they were terrifying rose up. They saw with their own eyes that at the end of the grassland in the distance, the space collapsed, the sun and the moon lost their light, and the earth was broken into pieces. Even in the other direction, a large grassland hill was flattened by a divine light. Although the distance was far, it was still extremely terrifying. And they immediately guessed that a divine war must have broken out in the distant sky. The two sides of the battle were the beast god Bork and Tang Xiaofan's demon. Retreat. The road ahead is blocked. Flee separately. Without saying anything, several people fled in different directions. Who can escape depends on who has better luck. They have made up their minds. If they can escape this time, they will never come to the Black Technology Heaven again, and they will move the heart of the castle away from the Calamy Prairie when they go back. Tang Xiaofan actually has demons of the middle god level under his command, which is completely beyond their imagination. It also scared them so much that their scalps numbed, and they dared not to go against Tang Xiaofan again. Their only idea now is to escape. Escape back to the castle, and then leave the Calamy Prairie. I don't know how long they have been running, at least thousands of kilometers. For several people in different directions, they are all exhausted and panting. In order to escape, as soon as possible, they did not hesitate to consume all the magic power in their bodies, and even use the power of the domain. The consumption was too great, so that everyone's face turned pale, and was about to collapse. Seeing that there were no accidents all the way to escape, they breathed a sigh of relief at the same time. Finally, they escaped. Fortunately, Tang Xiaofan's target was a pig, not us. Suddenly, the expressions of several people were dull at the same time, and they looked behind them. At that moment, they were all terrified. Lao Zhao, Lao Qin, why are you here? Lao Lin, Lao Chen, didn't you just flee in another direction? Several people were shocked. They had obviously fled in different directions, but after running for thousands of kilometers, they actually gathered together again, and they were still in the same position. In front, the War of Gods has not stopped. Behind, it is still the capital of the Kingdom of Black Technology. And the five of them, not one more, not one less. Don't scare me, Lao Qin, why are you back again? I'm not coming back, I'm obviously flying forward all the time, I didn't look back. Me too. Are we encountering a ghost wall? Several people were silent at the same time, and then they said angrily at the same time, what a damn ghost wall. We must have been hit. Either it's an illusion, or we are trapped in a circular space. As level 21 warriors, they still have some knowledge. It must be Tang Xiaofan's doing. Tang Xiaofan has become a god. His strength is far beyond our imagination. We can't escape from him. What kind of ability is this? The voices of several people trembled, and they were terrified to the extreme. They ran thousands of kilometers in different directions, but in the blink of an eye, they all returned to the original place, as if they had never moved. Who would not be afraid when encountering such a thing? Even if it was the pig, it would be trembling. This is my superficial application of the law of space. Sorry, I'm not very proficient in mastering this law just now. With a gentle chuckle, a figure appeared out of thin air not far away, only a few dozen meters away from them. The figure was wearing platinum armor, his hands behind his back, a faint smile on his handsome cheeks, and a powerful divine power emanating from his body. Tang Xiaofan. Several people screamed. Tang Xiaofan said calmly, "My friends from Prairie Paradise, since you have come to my capital, it is very rude to leave without saying hello." Tang Xiaofan, I was wrong. Let me go. This time I promise to move out of the heart of the castle and leave the Karami Prairie immediately. This has nothing to do with me. It's Laolin. The fragments of the godhead are his, and he is also the one who contacted these gods. Yes, we have all been deceived by Laolin. Several high-level officials of the Prairie Paradise Alliance shouted, and as for the Laolin they mentioned, he was almost angry to death. Chapter 448. What's the point of living without intelligence? He said angrily, "You idiots, do you think he will let you go? Since he trapped us, he didn't even think about letting us go." These words immediately woke up the people who were begging for mercy. They looked at each other, and then released the 21st level domain without hesitation, killing Tang Xiaofan. Bang 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 bang. The powerful 21st level power burst out, enough to destroy the mountain, but what frightened them was that all their power was isolated within a few meters away from Tang Xiaofan. No matter how hard they tried, they couldn't get close to Tang Xiaofan. Have you forgotten? I'm a god. Tang Xiaofan stretched out his right hand and grabbed the void. In an instant, the surrounding space collapsed layer by layer, and then gathered into a huge space ball cage, imprisoning all the people inside. Even if they tried their best, they couldn't destroy the space created by Tang Xiaofan. Tang Xiaofan, let me go. I won't dare to do it again. I don't want to die. I'm the lord of the castle with top level troops, and I'm also the boss of the Grassland Paradise Alliance. Tang Xiaofan, please let me go. I will give you whatever you want. I will give you all the troops and castle supplies, and I can also join your kingdom, become your affiliated force, and fight for you. The several people who were sealed and imprisoned all collapsed. Even that old Lin couldn't hold it anymore, and begged for mercy desperately. However, Tang Xiaofan ignored them, but cast his eyes into the distance. There was a bright red figure coming back from the horizon. It was Stark. In his hand, he dragged a long golden chain, and at the end of the chain, the beast god Bork was tied up. What? The old pig god was also caught? Is the strength of that demon so terrifying? At this moment, Laolin was trembling with fear. In the distant sky, two figures flew over. One was Tang Xiaofan's demon, and the other was the beast god Bork they found to destroy the black technology heaven. Old Lin, who had sharp eyes, saw at a glance that Tang Xiaofan's demon was dragging a long golden chain, and at the other end of the chain, the wounded beast god Bork was tied up. Soon, the other people also saw this scene, and they all trembled and felt unbelievable. Originally, they thought that, even if Beast God Bork was no match for Tang Xiaofan's demon, with his strength at the peak of the lower true god, he would have no problem escaping. But now Beast God Bork not only failed to escape, but was directly tied up and caught back. The strength of that terrifying steel demon was too terrifying, so powerful that it exceeded their imagination. What kind of demon is the demon in bright red armor? Pig God Boss. A high-level member of the Grassland Paradise Alliance shouted. Hearing such a title, Beast God Bork's eyes suddenly turned red, and he almost ran away. He is a god of the Pigman tribe. Pig is a half pigman with a pig head. He doesn't care about revealing his true form to others, but he is very concerned about others associating him with pigs. He is a great ancient beast god of faith, and he is no longer an ordinary pig. Arsehole. The beast god Bork roared angrily. These human castle masters used a mere fragment of the godhead to lure him to destroy the black technology heaven and kill the king of this kingdom. As a result, the intelligence of several people was not accurate at all. How could the black technology heaven have only Tang Xiaofan, an early true god? On the contrary, there was a middle-level god who was at least 10 times more powerful than him guarding the black technology heaven. Although he reacted quickly, he chose to escape as soon as he sensed the powerful divine power, but he was still a step slower and was forcibly suppressed. And he was tied up by the middle level god with divine power chains like a slave. He felt that he was quite tragic. The belief system of the gods returned to the land of gods and demons and should have shined brightly, but he fell into this situation now, and he could be wiped out at any time. He suspected that he might be the most miserable god of faith, and all this was caused by the human castle lords in front of him. If they hadn't lured him with the fragments of the godhead, how could he appear here? These humans are really too hateful. Even the intelligence is not accurate. What's the point of living? Now that he heard them calling him Pig God Boss, Beast God Bork was furious and wanted to slap these human castle lords to death. However, before he could do it, the golden chains on his body released a series of terrifying thunders that struck him. Suddenly, he screamed uncontrollably. He felt the double pain from his body and soul. Even if he was a god, he couldn't bear this pain. He couldn't help but scream. On the other side, several high-level members of the Grassland Paradise Alliance who were imprisoned in an independent space by Tang Xiaofan had drastic changes in their expressions. Their legs trembled, and they almost collapsed on the ground. A powerful god like Beast God Bork has become like this, so how miserable will their end be? It is highly likely that Tang Xiaofan will kill them directly. After all, it is not like Tang Xiaofan has never killed top castle lords before. As early as when the Black Technology Castle was besieged by millions of troops from several alliances, he personally killed hundreds of top castle lords. As for the top castle lords who participated in that war, none of them could escape. Hundreds of top castle lords were killed by Tang Xiaofan alone. What are the 5 of them? It is normal to kill them. If they are not killed, they should be thankful. Thinking of this, several high-level officials of the Grassland Paradise immediately ignored the Beast God Bork. They were all captives. Who is in a better situation than who? They began to beg for mercy again, claiming that as long as Tang Xiaofan could let them go, they were willing to give everything. Just like the hundreds of ordinary castle lords who made a deal with Tang Xiaofan last time, they were also willing to give all the soldiers and resources in their castles to Tang Xiaofan, just to survive. Since you're here, don't even think about going back alive. Tang Xiaofan no longer cares about the supplies of a few castles, even though these 5 people are all top castle lords. The castle supplies they stockpiled are just a drop in the bucket compared to the supplies of his kingdom, and they can't attract his attention at all. What's more, these people are in the Beast God Bork's intention to destroy his Black Technology Kingdom and eliminate him. How could Tang Xiaofan be merciful to such an enemy? Tang Xiaofan, don't kill us. We are not ordinary top castle lords. We are the boss of the Grassland Paradise. There are hundreds of castle lords in our alliance. As long as you let us go, we promise to bring the entire alliance to you, fight for you, and even help you attack the local empire in the central area with all our strength. With our Grassland Paradise Alliance as your help, you will definitely become the supreme god in the future. Tang Xiaofan, please, don't eliminate us. The 5 people were desperately begging for mercy. At this time, they were almost desperate and fell into the fear of death. You know, before they set out, they never thought that they would end up in such a situation. Chapter 449 The Beast God encountered the darkest day. The only thing they thought of was the Beast God Bork. Relying on this terrifying divine power, they destroyed the Black Technology Heaven and killed Tang Xiaofan. Then they shared the fruits of victory and moved all the materials of the Black Technology Heaven to their own castle to improve the strength of their castle. How could they have thought that the god of death would descend on them? If they had known that there was a demon god more powerful than the Beast God Bork hidden in the Black Technology Heaven, they would not have appeared here at all. They would have even escaped from the Karami Prairie long ago and would never have been enemies with Tang Xiaofan. Unfortunately, there is no regret medicine in the world, and they also do not have the strength to turn back time. The only thing they can do now is to beg for mercy, hoping that Tang Xiaofan can let go of their grudges. The Grassland Paradise, a bunch of rabble. The masters of those hundreds of castles have all surrendered. Whose supplies should I rob? Tang Xiaofan glanced at them calmly, and with his right hand, he pinched the air. In an instant, the entire space cage exploded in the eyes of the terrified and desperate people, and the 5 of them all shattered into a massive blood mist in an instant, and died cleanly. Tang Xiaofan was kind, and gave them a quick death. If it were the evil gods, it would be difficult for these guys to die. At the same time, a large number of items exploded after the death of several people, including equipment, soulstones, blueprints, etc., which were countless, and piled up into a pair of small mountains. Having just become a god, he was not very proficient in the use of the power of the space law, resulting in excessive power, forcibly destroying the space equipment on them, causing the supplies in those space equipment to explode together. Tang Xiaofan sighed, and then his mind moved, and he put the exposed items into his king's ring. Then, his eyes fell on the beast god Bork. The beast god Bork Limus said, I'm a god from the faith pantheon, and I have many powerful beast god companions behind me. If you kill me, your kingdom will be doomed. Do you know why I want to capture you? Tang Xiaofan stepped on the void, and walked slowly towards him. Why? The beast god Bork had a bad feeling in his heart. Tang Xiaofan smiled at her, revealing a mouthful of snow-white teeth, and said, of course I want to maximize your value. You are a god who has reached the peak of the lower true god position after all. We can't just kill you directly. As Tang Xiaofan's voice fell, a series of light gates appeared in the void around him, and then angels with beautiful faces flew out of the light gates. There were nearly 100 demigods of the kingdom who had entered the late stage of demigod. All of them were present. In addition to them, the other angels and elves were also at the peak of level 21. Lord Almighty, Your Majesty. The angels and elves who saw Tang Xiaofan immediately saluted in reverence. Tang Xiaofan nodded slightly. The reason why he summoned them here was very simple. That was to kill the beast god Bork, so that he could have more demigod angels and demigod elves under his command. As for the warriors, with the help of missiles and armor, they would basically consume most of the experience in each battle. Moreover, angels and elves could contribute more divine power. Now, the godhood of the beast god Bork has reached the peak of the lower true god. I think the experience is very rich. Maybe it can allow those who have entered the late stage of demigod to directly condense the god core and be promoted to true god. After all, the difference between the two sides is more than one realm. Even if a lot of experience is taken away by other angels and elves, some angels at the peak of demigod can also be promoted to a higher level. After all, they are either at the peak of demigod or directly become gods. At Tang Xiaofan's command, the angels and elves used their most powerful forces to call on the beast god Bork. After a long time, the beast god Bork still did not fall. The reason was simple. The gap in strength between the two sides was too big. Tang Xiaofan's angels and elves besieged him for a long time, but failed to kill the beast god Bork. Instead, the severe pain made Shouchen Bork scream. He suspected that Tang Xiaofan fought against a group of demigods and level 21 professionals to besiege him, a lower level peak true god, not to kill him, but to torture him. After all, his true god body had too high a defense. Even if he could not resist, it would be quite difficult for these demigods and level 21 peak angels and elves to kill him. And this process was equivalent to torture for him. Who could stand being worn down bit by bit? Anyway, the beast god Bork couldn't stand it. Because he was forcibly suppressed by Stark, he could not resist, and could only scream at Tang Xiaofan in fear, don't do it first, we can talk it out. Tang Xiaofan looked up at Stark. This is not a solution. It will take until tomorrow to grind this guy to death. Hearing Tang Xiaofan's words, the angels and elves who were besieging the beast god Bork were very ashamed, so they attacked the beast god Bork more vigorously, vowing to kill the beast god Bork as quickly as possible. Stark's mouth twitched slightly and said, my lord, I can only seal the godhood and power in his body, but I can't do anything about his true god body. The true god's god and power can be sealed, but the true god's body has been forged by divine power and has a strong defense, which cannot be sealed. Then we can only grind slowly. Tang Xiaofan glanced at the beast god Bork with a distorted expression and said again, by the way, seal his soul as well. Don't let him contact his companions, come to the black technology heaven, and ruin my good deeds. Stark said respectfully, "My lord, don't worry, when I suppressed him before, I sealed his soul, so that he couldn't contact other gods of faith." Well, Tang Xiaofan nodded. Time passed quickly, until the blood moon came, and the sky darkened. The angels and others continued to attack the beast god Bork. The beast god Bork also wailed once, or twice from time to time. He really had no strength, his true god body had been numb with pain. His voice was hoarse, and he couldn't even shout. For him, this was definitely the darkest day in his life. Even in the ancient God War era, facing the dimensional demon from the outside world, he had never been tortured like this. Those angels and elves, each of them was desperately attacking him, trying to kill it, but he didn't die until now. Instead, he was tortured to the point that he wanted to commit suicide. However, the cruelest thing was that his divine nature, divine power, and divine soul were all sealed, and even his true divine body was imprisoned. He couldn't commit suicide, and could only wait to be slowly consumed to death. Chapter 450. The Dimensional Devil is coming again. Stop it. Beast God Bork looked at Tang Xiaofan with tears in his eyes and said, "Can you slow down for a while? I can commit suicide." Tang Xiaofan shook his head and said, "Don't think too much. I won't let you commit suicide. Otherwise, won't my angel elves' efforts for so long be in vain? Enemies who commit suicide cannot gain experience, so Tang Xiaofan can't let him commit suicide." Beast God Bork said angrily, "Then give me a quick death. After all, I, Bork, am also a powerful true god of faith. How can I die in such a cowardly way?" Tang Xiaofan said, "This won't work either. With Stark's strength, it is very easy to kill Beast God Bork. Of course, he can also kill Beast God Bork directly, but this goes against his original intention. He wants to share the experience of killing Beast God Bork with the demigods in the kingdom, to help them reach a higher level. In addition, those angel elves at the peak of level 21 also need to use the experience of killing Beast God Bork to advance to the realm of demigods. Therefore, neither he nor his Stark could take action, lest they share a lot of experience. Human, what on earth do you want to do?" The beast god Bork said angrily, "I'm also a believer in the gods, participated in the holy war in ancient times, and killed powerful dimensional demons. Can't you let me die with dignity?" He had no hope of escaping. He wanted to die quickly, and no longer suffer torture, because even if he was a true god with a stable mind, he couldn't accept it. It was so cruel to be killed for a day without being killed. Tang Xiaofan looked at him and said, "Relax, I won't let you fall completely. After killing you, I will revive you, and give you a new life." The beast god Bork's eyes widened immediately. This human castle lord wanted to revive it, and then kill it? What did he do to deserve such cruel treatment? The beast god Bork was completely confused. Tang Xiaofan smiled and said, "While you can still hold on for a while, let's chat." The beast god Bork ignored Tang Xiaofan. Nearly 100 demigods and level 21 warriors were surrounding him. One attack after another fell on him. For him, the endless pain was like being cut into pieces by 1,000 knives. How could he have the heart to chat with Tang Xiaofan? He wanted to die quickly now. Tang Xiaofan said to himself, "I'm very curious about what you, the faith god system and the truth god system, talked about in the outside world. Why did the truth god system give in the end?" Hearing this, the beast god Bork glanced at Tang Xiaofan with his eyes slanted, and continued to lower his head, waiting to die. Tang Xiaofan didn't care, and said with a smile, "When I capture your soul, you will tell me everything." The beast god Bork glared at him and said, "Human, you should be an evil god belonging to the dark evil undead camp, not the god of faith in the bright and kind camp." Tang Xiaofan shook his head and said, "The evil god will not resurrect you, and give you new life." The beast god Bork trembled all over. He suspected that the reason Tang Xiaofan wanted to resurrect him was to kill him again. The beast god Bork said anxiously, "Don't resurrect me, and don't destroy my soul. Let me go to the underworld, and tell you everything I know." Tang Xiaofan looked at him. "Can you still negotiate with me now?" Beast god Bork. Not long after, he suddenly said, "The goddess of destiny of my faith pantheon, combined with the powerful god of the truth pantheon, has opened a corner of the future. The demon clan from another dimension is about to descend on the continent of gods and demons. The war strength is far beyond the ancient era of god wars. the demon emperor, the 12 abyss demon lords, and billions of demons will all appear. Such a demonic disaster is not something the God of Truth can withstand, so they chose to retreat and let us, the God of Faith, return to the gods and demons continent to cooperate with them, and jointly resist the demons. There is an agreement, that is, we, the God of Faith, are not allowed to spread faith in the gods and demons continent, otherwise a war between gods will break out. Hearing the words of the beast god Bork, Tang Xiaofan suddenly realized. It turned out that the dimensional demons were coming, forcing the God of Truth to choose to cooperate with the God of Faith. He was not surprised by this, because he had long ago speculated that in the future, there would be a war between 4 camps of gods in the gods and demons continent, the castle forces, and the local forces. The God of Faith and the dimensional demons will engage in a great battle between the gods, and now the dimensional demons will also return, which is really not beyond his expectations. At this time, Tang Xiaofan suddenly looked at the beast god Bork in confusion and asked, if you are not allowed to spread faith in the continent of gods and demons, why did you gods of faith come back? Beast god Bork said sarcastically, what are believers? Our faith system has been operating in the world outside the domain for tens of thousands of years, occupying a large number of plane worlds and life planets, and has countless believers far beyond the ancient times. We no longer need the faith of the continent of gods and demons. We return to the continent of gods and demons just to find and fight for something. Beast god Bork glanced at Tang Xiaofan and sneered, as for what it is, I will never tell you even if I die. Really? Tang Xiaofan thought for a while and said, but I think what you are looking for is most likely the throne of the God King. Beast god Bork widened his eyes. How did you know? This is the secret of the gods. Tang Xiaofan smiled and said, what secret of the gods? All of our hundreds of castle lords know the existence of the throne of the God King. If we get it, we can become the supreme god again. Hearing this, the beast god Bork was stunned. After a long time, the true body of the beast god Bork was finally pierced by a holy sword. The beast god Bork, who had been killing for a day, was finally killed. And the beast god Bork himself also breathed a sigh of relief before dying, as if he was relieved. However, his soul could not escape after all. He was caught by Stark and thrown into the holy grail of the Holy Light Temple. Human, you are not trustworthy. Tang Xiaofan thought to himself. He didn't seem to agree to anything just now, right? At the same time, when the beast god Bork was killed, a new message appeared in Tang Xiaofan's vision. Congratulations to the lord of the castle, your troops killed the beast god Bork, the peak of the lower true god, and you gained 5 million energy, 10 points of divine power, 1 godhood, and 1 godhood fragment. In an instant, a huge amount of energy poured into Tang Xiaofan's body, forcibly raising Tang Xiaofan's position from the early stage of the lower true god to the middle stage of the lower true god. The troops under his command killed gods, and as the lord of the castle, he also received huge gifts and directly increased his realm by a small level. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.